What is going on, everybody? It is Wednesday. It is 9:05. It is prime time. My name is Paul Spencer. That is the man, the showstopper, Dave Yarnell. And guys, you are tuned into the 215 Boys Live.
Wait a minute. What show is this again? What show are we on here?
It's the 215 Boys Live, man. Listen, David, it's, we
haven't done. You mean that show still exists?
Yeah, you know what? Hey, listen, all the people out there that missed our show for the whole year. It wasn't on because of my inability to do the show. I had a situation, with myself that I took the whole season off. Basically, was out of my house, living out of my house. Basically, good standard now, but back, Dave. But Dave, I tell you one thing, man. What a hell of a season to not do a show, because I would have freaking lost my mind if we were doing a show weekly this year, Dave.
You mean we had a season 2?
Well, Dave, I don't know if you call it a season. I don't know that, honestly. I think it was. I'm not an English major, and I'm not a person that knows, a lot of words, Dave. But I'll tell you what, I don't have a word for what the hell debacle, horror film. Dave, help me out here. If any viewers out there can tell me what a word is to describe this Cowboy season, if you want to call it a season, Dave.
What word can I think of? Is horrible.
Dave, you put it lightly. Horrible, man. I don't know if there's any words like
horrific. I don't know.
You know what? There's a word right there. Our guy Larry checks in. He says a shit show.
Yeah. Hey, that I could have said that, but I figured since we're live, I didn't want to be too bad on us.
Hey, well, keep it real. It was a shit show, debacle, horror freaking film, shit show. And guys, make sure you check out Larry.
If you want to call it that, call it what you will. That's fine with me.
Hey, I'm going to keep it real. And make sure you guys check out Larry there. He's on every Tuesday night. The Part-Time Marks. You're talking WWE and NXT. Check him out, please. Make sure you check him out on our network here. Eddie checks in. He says, I call it a disaster. See, he's on the same boat as you. He wants to be okay with it, like nice about it. But
disaster, horrible. There's all kinds of words you can think of,
Hey, I'm on the boat with Larry. It's a shit show, Dave. It's a shit show. It's a shit show. It's a shit show, definitely. Eddie, Paul, Dave, what's going on, Eddie? Thanks for checking in, brother.
Eddie, what's up, baby?
There it is. Josh Crago checking in. Until the old man has finally stepped back, is not going to be like this. Josh, that's 100% right. What we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to go through the season. We're not going to talk about stats. We're not going to talk about this and that. But we're going to talk about the entire 17-game season.
Josh, I think it was more of his son than it was more of the old man, if you want to really be honest about it.
Well, you know what? We're not really going to talk about it too much, Dave, but Josh is 100% right. We've always said this, Dave, and we talk about this always on the phone every night. You pick my brain about it, and sometimes you get pissed off with what I say. But, Dave, I think you're finally coming to realize now that Jerry Jones just plays for himself, basically. He doesn't play for the true fans, the Dallas Cowboy fans that have been waiting, Dave, not 10 years, not 15, not 20, not 25. Dave, we're going on goddamn 29 fucking years, Dave.
I know. I hear you. 29 years. It's been a long time. 1995? I mean, seriously. But no, according to Stephen Jones, we're on a we're not there yet, or so he said something to the fact that we're just, we're on a break or something that we haven't been there in a long time. So I don't know.
Eddie says the old man needs to take his son with him. Hey, listen, I just think we need a total Jones name makeover. Like, just like Washington with Snyder. Get rid of his ass. And look what the Commanders did. Bringing a new coach, bringing a new owner. Harris, Foundation came in. They're lighting it up.
They brought in our defensive coordinator. Go figure that.
Well, Dave, there's only one man you can blame, and his name is Jerry Botox Jones. Okay, that's
Jerry freaking Jones.
Yeah, okay, Dave. But Dave, we did do a show in the beginning of the season before my life turned upside down with my house situation. But it's glad to be back. But
yeah, it's good to be back.
It's good to vent, Dave. It's good to vent. It's good to vent. Even though we're not going to talk about who won the Super Bowl, I can care less about that.
Half our team went to Washington anyway, so what's the matter?
Well, you know what, Dave? And the rest we kept hearing it's called overpay each one of them, Dave. Overpay each one of them. But Dave, we did do a show in the beginning of the season, like we always do, about 2 weeks before the season starts, right after like a third preseason game, Dave. We always do a show every year, you and I. We don't wait until or we don't set the stone first and do a prediction show before the draft. We don't do all that. We keep it real. And Dave, we did that show with quite a few hosts that we had on there from the Cowboys Network all around, the nation there. We had a couple people on. And Dave, what record did you give the Cowboys?
You're going to make me say this.
Yeah, at least I can make myself feel good with what, I said.
Because your record was closer than mine.
I don't want to say that I'm happy about that, Dave, but yeah, you're right.
Well,
you're right.
I went from the year before thinking that's what we did. I had the same record as I thought was going to be this past season, and I was totally wrong. Totally wrong. I had us at 12-5.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put down this one. 11, 12. 12 wins, Dave.
I had us 12. Well, before the season started, I did.
Okay. Before we get into the season, I'm just going to ask you, why did you say 12-5? Because you weren't the only one on the show that said 12-5, Dave. There was 2 other people that said 12-5, and one said 13-4, Dave.
I know.
What the hell did you guys see?
Well, we figured with McCarthy being back the next season, this past season, and we thought that we went 12-5 the season before, so we thought Dak had a great year. He had a great season. He had 36 TDs, 9 interceptions. He was the MVP candidate. He was a runner-up, as a matter of fact, if you remember that season. Okay, and here it all went down the hill. That Green Bay game in the playoffs, and then next thing you know, something from that game just shot us down, and crazy.
Just shot us down. Yeah, it shot us down like a drone in the air. Just got shot.
And the funny part was, we were our record at home was amazing until that game, and then all of a sudden, everything went downhill.
Well, Dave, the year before you go 8-8 at home, the only loss you had was against Green Bay. You know what I mean? In the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But you think about Eddie says 5 and 6 wins. I mean, that to me, he had it worse than I did, Dave. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Is that what Eddie had? Eddie? Okay.
I took a lot of shit during that show, Dave. Every one of the other hosts on the show said, "Are you smoking? What are you drinking? What the hell's wrong with you? You're a hater. You got to be kidding me." Dave, I said it best 9-8. Didn't I say that?
You had 9-8. Yeah, you did. I'll give you this much. You were the closest out of all of us.
I mean, of course, you guys had 12-5, 13-4. I mean, that's a 5-game swing from you and a 6-game swing from the other one. And hell, I was off, Dave, 2 games.
Yeah, you were off 2 games. Yep.
7-10, Dave. 7-10.
You had us losing to Carolina.
Hey, well, at least I was wrong about one thing last season, Dave. Okay, at least I was wrong. But Dave, they almost came back and won that game, truthfully.
They did. They did.
Bryce Young looked looked pretty damn good. I don't know if it was Andy Dalton or who the hell was playing, but I tell you
what. It was Bryce Young, and he was on the rise going into that game too. So we kind of shut him down a little bit. So
shut him down. I mean, hell, their season almost was better than ours, Dave, and they were only expected to win 2 games that year.
This is true. This is true. Yeah.
But here, let's get some of the comments real quick. Eddie said Dallas draft wasn't good. No, we're not going to talk about the draft tonight, Eddie. We're going to keep that, when we talk about next week. Next week, we're going to talk about losing the coaches, who we're bringing in. Oh, God, do we have to talk about who came in? Oh, God, Dave. But we'll get to that next week, and then the week after we'll talk about player personnel.
We're not going that route right now.
But Dave, I'll hold this. I'll leave Eddie on that one there. I agree and disagree about the draft picks of Dallas Cowboys. The word I'm going to say, Dave, I'll leave it as a hanger. You drafted players that didn't fit where you drafted them, okay?
This is true.
Two out-of-place players in different positions on one of the most significant pieces that you need. Left tackle, I'll say left tackle, and center right guard.
Well, Cooper didn't do bad, though, this year. I thought Cooper had a good season.
But Dave, we had his dad on last year. And,
I was going to say, we talked to his dad, too. Yeah.
But Dave, you know what we'll talk about for a second. We did have his dad on last year, and, I was very truthful about it. I said, coming from college at K-State, Wildcat there, he held his own. He played every position on the line. He knows how to play it, Dave. But, Dave, how many times did I text you during the season? Go back and watch it. Cooper got manhandled against bigger nose tackles.
Well, we expected that big coming out of the rookie year. We saw that coming. We knew that was going to happen.
But to me, Dave, you know what? I would have rather played Hoffman. Now we're getting into situational here.
Brock held his own, though, for the end of the season.
I would have put Hoffman in there and let Cooper Beebe sit behind Zach Martin. When he got injured, then you put Beebe in there to get the experience. Because he's not a center. He might be a center for the future, learning it the first year, but he's not a center in his first year, Dave. It is a different – because you got to command that, Dave. The center that I look at, going back to Jeff Saturday, he was a quarterback on the field, Dave. He controlled that line, with Peyton Manning. They controlled that line.
I was going to say he had Peyton Manning, too, so that was –
Yeah, but Dave, you got a center that respects that value, and Cooper Beebe is coming in as a rookie. You get manhandled. God, I remember Jordan Davis lit his ass up big time.
Yep.
And that's just one name out there. It was kind of crazy, Dave, but exactly. Tyler Guyton sucks. Right tackle, he should have played right tackle. Dave, when you play 1,134 snaps at right tackle at Oklahoma, and you play 3 snaps at left tackle, what in the hell was Jerry Jones saying?
Yeah,
we're going to move him to left tackle.
Well, I think that was a McCarthy move, honestly.
Well, you know what? I think it was Jerry Jones' move because you remember back from USC, they did do this before, and it panned out pretty goddamn good, where they drafted Tyron Smith, a right tackle from USC, and moved him to left tackle, and he became a franchise Hall of Fame player. In his later years, yes, he got hurt. He couldn't stay healthy. Son of a bitch, eating a cheeseburger on the side.
I was going to say, it's the same guy I was saying he was eating a hot dog on the sideline.
I think it was a cheeseburger. He might have had both, Dave. He might have had both. I ain't going to lie. Yeah, I ain't going to lie. Anyway, BB is a guard. He's a true guard. That's what when we talk about situational players, I'll leave a cliffhanger. I think Hoffman starts. Zach Martin gets – well, we're not going to talk about it, Dave. We're not going to talk about it.
I have to give Cooper credit, though. He did really – I thought he did a really good job for his rookie season, and he's only going to get better.
Yeah, but the only thing I think he's a little bit undersized is true center, Dave, honestly.
Well,
he's a little bit more of a lesser stature, weight-wise plus height-wise, because he doesn't have the long arms, Dave. Guard, you don't have to have the long arms because you're pulling a lot. At center, going against a 4-3 defense, man, you're playing a man on top of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got to control that line. So it's a little bit different, Dave,
Oh, without a doubt, it's different. But, I thought he held his own,
Yeah, held his own. Hey, he's our leader of our 7-10 football team, Dave. Yes, 7-10, baby. Woo! Can you feel it?
Hey, a lot happened during that 7-10 season. Just as much as I do.
Yeah, Dave, a lot of crying. I think if I was a smart man, I would have had stocks and tissue paper because I was crying my ass off this year, Dave. I really was, man. But Dave, let's get into it. Week 1, Dave. Hey, you know what? We're opening up at Cleveland Browns. We thought about this game. Deshaun Watson. Okay, what is he? They got the defensive player, Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
They got a team, Dave. But you know what? We went in there like, okay, what is our team going to look like? CD signs. What, the day of the game, Dave?
An hour.
An hour before the game. Okay, what is our team going to look like? No training camp, nothing here. Who's playing? No starters playing the preseason. We go in there, Dave. We're not going to talk about stats, Dave. We're just going to go through game by game here. Dave, we came out 1-0. We won 33-17. What were your expectations right there, Dave? I know you called me and says, we're on our way to the Super Bowl. I said, yes, we are, Dave. 1-0,
Hey,
Dave. Cleveland
first of all,
Browns.
we should have thought to ourselves, "Hey, it's Cleveland. Wait, let's pump the brakes a little bit there." You
Yeah,
know,
I think I did after I got off the phone with you. I think I called you back and said, Dave, you're right. Wait a minute. Hold on. It's Cleveland Browns, brother. Let's slow down a little bit.
let's slow down a little bit.
Yeah,
Actually,
let's
and the
slow down.
best part was we went on the road to win that game. We weren't even home.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We went on the road. We won a game there, but hey, we're 1-0. I just like, okay, well, you know what? It showed me okay. We can move the ball a little bit. You know, Dak looked okay. Didn't turn the ball over. Looked pretty good. But 1-0, Dave. You know, we're 1-0 already. Then, Dave, let's talk about this next week, Dave. Okay. We go back home, Dave, where we're 8-0. We can't be beat, Dave, except for the debacle with the Packers.
Except for that debacle against Green Bay.
Yeah, except for that horror film we seen there against Jordan Love, you know. But Saints come to town, Dave. You're feeling okay. It's the Saints, man. It's the Saints. They got a quarterback issue. They got a running back issue. Kamara's not what he is anymore. Derek Carr's not what he is. They don't have Michael Thomas. They have a good defense. They can't put it all together, Dave. But good God, Dave, 44-19. We got our ass handed to us.
We did. I think we went in there a little cocky, honestly. I think, we're home. We win there. Wasn't meant to be. I mean, I don't know what happened. You tell me, because I just don't know. I'll tell you one thing, though. We couldn't stop the run to save our lives. I'll tell you that much.
You know, the one thing I do remember about this game, Dave, I actually gave praise to – I gave praise to the Saints because Gary Kubiak's son is actually one of the OCs and run coordinators for the Saints. And it looked to me like that zone run was just like, they can't handle this. They're just running through us like crazy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then, you know, the one thing I tell you is I thought the Saints were going to look pretty goddamn good for the season. They went 3-0, and then they got their ass handed to them.
Well, that was the delusional Saints that, started off good.
Right. But Dave, that didn't make me think any well because, okay, you know what? It's the zone block. The Saints are good this year. They're 3-0. But they went 6-11, Dave. So that doesn't tell me the Cowboys are great at all. The Cowboys suck more than were on my radar in the first place. You know?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
44-19, Dave.
Is that what that final score was? Wow, I don't even remember. It was like so far.
44-19.
44-19.
44-19.
How many field goals we kicked?
Dallas would have won those 7 games if Dak didn't go down. No, I think if that's why I said in the prediction, I thought Dak would play the entire season, but with the roster we had going into it, no really true 2 wide receiver. Cooks was on the shelf basically in and out of the season.
Yeah.
Defense was banged up, coming off injuries. So that's why I said 9-8.
Well, Dak going down didn't help, that's for sure. And we weren't really playing well before Dak actually went down, if you think about it.
Oh, exactly. Dak is Rush is a smarter quarterback than Dak. In some aspects, I do see that, reading the field, but Cooper needs time.
Cooper has to be in the pocket. He needs to be. If he's not, he's a pocket quarterback.
Yeah, he needs to be in the pocket, and so is really Dak. He's not a runner, a mobile quarterback anymore, Dave. But when you think about Rush, the only difference between Rush and Cooper, I'm Rush and Cooper. God, this Cowboys season really screwed me up. But no, Cooper and Dak is you give Cooper time in the pocket where he's not, under so much pressure. That 1, 2, 3 second. If you give him that, he's fine. He can look downfield. He can look option A, read his progression tree. But if you look at the games where he played, Dave, if he doesn't have time, holy shit, he's bad.
I mean, but there was times where Cooper actually did play pretty well. But Dak went down.
Well, what I said too, if you give him time, Dave, there's games where you play the elite teams, the more I want to say off teams, that have a lesser roster. Well, our roster sucks, but any roster that's less than ours, he got time. He looked good, Dave. But when you play teams, it's like, okay, well, you know what? I got Josh Sweat. I got Allen Payne coming off the edge, just in our division. Thibodeau, these players, Burns coming off the edge. You're thinking like, oh shit, I got to get the ball out 1 second, quick, get it out, and your read's not even there when you don't have a 1 wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb. These other wide receivers, Tolbert, Flournoy, even Cook's on the shelf. There was no chemistry to do anything like that. Not
really. He had a little chemistry with Lamb, which I thought he did. Actually,
Dave, if you throw the ball to him 30 goddamn times a game, Dave, I think you are going to catch like
right. That's what I'm saying. But him and Tolbert. Actually, Tolbert had a couple touchdowns this year. off of Cooper Rush. So
I guess every squirrel finds a nut.
Actually, who I was upset with this year, who didn't really step up as I thought he was Ferguson. Ferguson didn't have a great season this year.
That's because he's dating that Haley Canterviller twin, man. That's all he.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, she's like a 5 million follower on TikTok. She's a guard at Miami University. They've been dating for the last year and a half. He's freaking doing more TikTok videos and spending time in that place. That's what I mean, man. Listen,
Shoot didn't have a bad season either. If you think about it, Shoot had a couple nice catches.
I mean, Shoot's really a pass blocker, but he had some nice catches out there, Dave. But Dave, let's move on. We talked about this game, in the green room before we went live. Cowboys and the Ravens. Now, you said what game did they come back? This was the game that Cowboys almost came back to win, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the score was 28-25, Dave. We lost.
Well, I remember it was funny because I was at Texas Roadhouse that night. We were celebrating, I think it's my mom. I forget somebody's birthday. I think it was. I think it might have been. I don't know.
It wasn't mine.
Anyway,
I know that. It wasn't mine.
We were in Texas Roadhouse that day. We were getting our butts kicked. It wasn't even funny, right? So I'm taking my mom back home. And next thing you know, touchdown Cowboys, touchdown Cowboys. I'm thinking, we're coming back here. So I was like, if I don't watch it, maybe they'll win it. But it was 28-25, something, whatever it was. I'm thinking, like, we're still in this thing. And then we just couldn't finish it. But it was a good comeback, though.
But, Dave, wasn't this the game where there was an idiot special teams play?
No.
What game was that?
That game was against Cincinnati.
Okay, thank you. Hold that, Dave, because my mind's. I'm trying to forget everything that happened last.
Yeah, that was that Cincinnati game that really bugged me that night because we were really rolling. But go ahead.
But okay, go on. We're not going to go into crazy, Dave. After this game here, 28-25. We're down 21 points going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we were down big time.
We're down 3. We're thinking if we get the ball back, we got the best kicker in the game. Aubrey can come back, tie the game. But Dave, losing 28-25. After getting our ass kicked by the Saints 44-9 or 44-19 last week. How did you feel now, Dave, saying, well, we know the Ravens should be one of the top 3 teams in the AFC. We came back, we only lost by 3. Dave, where is your plateau now saying, okay, you know what, we lost, but damn, we were hanging.
We were hanging. We were hanging tough with them. I mean, for the most part, we did the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. And you thought maybe you could take that momentum into the next game, see what, maybe Dak's got something going on. Who knows? But it was game by game of this season was really weird. I mean, we really didn't have any momentum going into any of these games this year. Think about it.
No, but exactly what you're saying, Dave. You lose this game 28-25. I understand, chalk it up as an L in an L column. You got that little one there. But, going in there, you came back. You should be riding a little bit high. Said, okay, we know we can score on elite defense because they are arguably, top 5 in the NFL defensively-wise, the Ravens themselves. We go into next week. We're going to the Meadowlands. We're playing at MetLife. We play the Giants, Dave. This should be a game where they're worse than we are roster-wise. They can't put it together. They're still fighting for themselves right now with quarterback issues, the whole team issues. Rookie sensation Malik Neighbors, quarterback. We don't, DeVito. Who the hell knows out there? But Dave, you only win by 5, 20-15.
Yeah, offense wasn't really. Well, they weren't on their game, but I mean. I think defense held us that game. That was a defensive game, if I'm not mistaken.
The defense held on. I think Aubrey had 4 field goals that game.
Yeah. Brandon was kicking. Well,
he was kicking ass. That's all. Thank God for Aubrey, the MVP.
Best kicker in the league, man.
But speaking of Giants, we do have a Giants show called The Big Blue Power. They're going to be coming back pretty soon. They're on a little hiatus right now because they're like us. We're brave enough to come on here and make fun of ourselves, talk shit about ourselves because our team sucks. We ain't gonna lie, we'll admit it. We suck. Capital letters, hashtag it. We suck big time. We're here to talk about it. We don't care. But Giants are out there. Their fans. We'll talk about this. I'm not really going to get into this. Dak says we're so close to the Eagles. We're good. We're not going to talk about that. We will talk about that, couple weeks there. But
that's just Dak. That's just Dak talking. That's all it is.
Evan says, "Oh, Texas Roadhouse fancy." Yeah, I love Texas Roadhouse though. I ain't gonna
yes, big fan. Love it. The bread is amazing.
I never had their bread. No, have I?
Oh, it's so good.
No, I'm just hooked on Olive Garden, their breadsticks. Oh my god. Dude.
Yes, Texas Roadhouse rules. Yes, Evan, they do. You're right.
And he says, "Yeah, someone pulled a Leon Lett in the Bengals game." Yeah, thank you. Yeah, exactly. We'll talk about that game. I remember there was one game about that.
That game got me so mad. I don't even want to talk about that game.
Yep.
I really don't.
And then he says the Giants could have won both games. You're absolutely right. I mean, I understand a division game, the NFC East game. I get that. Throw out the record. It's going to be close no matter what. You play each other twice a year. Every year you play each other. It's going to come down to X and O scheme wise. But Dave, I mean, a 5-point win. I mean, how are you feeling after this one against the Giants, Dave?
I was just glad I was just glad to get out of there with a win. That's how I felt about it.
I was like,
20-15, I'll take it. Any win for me, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, you're trying to come up with 12 wins, Dave. Somewhere. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
next week, Dave, I believe this was Monday Night Football. I had tickets to the game. I gave them away because I'm like, you know what, this is going to be a severe ass kicking here. Dave, we play the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, and we beat them 20.
And we beat them. I told you. I said to you, we're going to win this game. You're like, oh no, Dave, we have no shot. We're going to Pittsburgh. We're not winning this game. And what does Dak do? He finds Tolbert in the end zone to win the game.
Tolbert's one catch of the season wins the
game. It was a big one. It was a huge catch in the end zone.
Yeah, I guess Tolbert made his $3 million for that one catch this year. Right?
Yeah, but Dak was on that game. Something about it. He was just. I mean, he controlled the offense in that fourth quarter for us to really pull that out.
Yeah, I get that too, Dave. But listen, I mean, I had it chalked up as a loss, Dave. Going into Pittsburgh.
I think I was the only one that said we were going to pull. I had a feeling. I just had a feeling we were going to Pittsburgh and win that game. Something told me we were winning that game. I don't know why. I just felt it.
Yeah, you did. You did. I said we're going to lose that game. I think every one of you guys said, it's going to be a win. I said it's going to lose. Going into Monday night, at Squire Stadium, not Heinz Field anymore, Ascure Stadium, which is, I don't know what the hell that still means. But
what is it called now?
Ascure, Asciure Stadium. It's like a some kind of hospital up here, something like
okay.
That.
Gotcha.
I call it Ass Stadium now still, I don't I still remember the Heinz Field, the big Heinz logo. I still remember that.
But. Is Russell Wilson still there?
Well, both of them are free agents, Dave. Justin Fields and Russell Wilson's both free agents this year, so we don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, what is Pittsburgh doing these days?
But okay. All right, Dave. So we win that game. We'll get into a couple comments right after this game here. We'll talk about this. All right, Dave, we're on a 2-game win streak. We beat the Giants by 5. We beat the Steelers by 3, Dave. We're back on the Super Bowl.
We're back in the game.
Paul went over to the door. He got his key ready, and he said, Paul, slow your roll here, because we're playing a team next week that's pretty damn good. Dave, we go back home. We're feeling good. How we feel, Paul? We feeling good. Dave, how we feeling? We're pretty damn
good.
Well, Dave, guess what? We ain't feeling pretty damn good because we got our ass handed 47-9 by the Detroit Lions.
Well, that you know what though? You think about it, Detroit had a really good season this year. I mean, what they got 15-2. I mean, Goff was probably on fire. Our defense was. Hey, all I can say is we were home and we lost again. So I don't know.
You go 8-0 and 7-1 in your last 2 seasons, David, home, and you lose your opener at home plus your next game at home. We're 0-2 at home. Like, I understand it's the Lions, Dave, but I remember this game, Dave, because I did a parlay. I took Montgomery for a touchdown, Gibbs for a touchdown, and both over 100 yards. And both of those son of a bitches got over 100 yards.
And I kept telling you, I said, we're a road team. Somewhere along the line, home wasn't working for us. I don't know why.
And the thing is, the Lions defense wasn't the greatest. They were banged up that game, Dave. They had 2 starters out at corners.
They were hurting.
We still couldn't push the ball, Dave.
I know.
Dave. All right, well, Dave, there's nothing.
So what are you telling me? We were an elevator up and down season? Is that what it was?
Well, Dave, you can't. Okay, if you're an up and down season, that means there's 17 games. You're at least going to win 8 to go back and forth. Dave, we were below. Dave, we didn't even get on the goddamn elevator. We got on there, Dave, and they said, you know what? Everybody needs to evacuate because there's a fire. And that's why. Everybody's like, why? It's because the Cowboys are on fire. Not great. They suck. Get the hell off the elevator, Dave. That's what it was, But, Dave, there's not much.
I guess the elevator was on fire. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it was, Dave. Yes, it was, Dave. I mean, 47-9, Dave. Okay, but let's get into some comments here.
That game doesn't really stick in my head for some reason. I don't know why.
I remember. I remember Montgomery and Jamar Gibbs just running like they were playing 7-on-7 football, Dave. Yeah. Yep. Let's get to some comments. Chris
Okay.
Batiste checking in. Chris is a great Eagles fan out there. Congratulations, Chris. I hope you enjoyed it. Great guy. Always checks in. Dak is poop. I'm going to take that to another level, Chris. Dak is shit. Okay.
Oh, come on now. Come on now.
Dak is shit.
Am I the only one defending our quarterback? Am I the only one on this show that's going to defend our quarterback? I guess
obviously it's me and you.
I guess I have to. I guess I have to.
Don't, Dave. You know what? We'll talk 1 minute about this, Dave. And I'm just going to say one word to you, and you can retaliate any way you want to. Just give me 20 seconds to say what I'm going to say, Dave. Here we go. The highest paid quarterback in NFL history, the highest paid player in NFL history, great regular season guy, injury prone, can't read defenses to help him. And guess what, Dave? 2 playoff wins in his career, Dave.
I know.
In how many years, Dave? I want to say how many years? How many years, Dave?
8, 9.
Dave, 8 times 16. I'm not a mathematician, but carry that. That's 128 games with 2 playoff wins in all your seasons, Dave.
I get it.
I'll leave it there, Dave. I'll leave it there for you.
I get it. I understand. I get it.
I'll give you 1 minute to,
But he was runner-up MVP not this past season, last year, the year before.
And he got his ass handed to him by a rookie.
He threw 36 touchdowns, 9 picks. You got to give him that.
And he got his ass handed to him at home in the playoffs, Dave.
Well, that was mostly. Yeah, he did, but defense didn't do their job that day either. I mean, come on, defense didn't show up.
I think Dallas had 13 points going into the fourth quarter.
What was it, 28-7 going into the first half? I mean, come on.
But Dak didn't do anything.
He threw 2 picks. I'll give you that, but
And yet the score wasn't what it was about, Dave. He got charity points in that fourth
quarter. Our
defense
defense gave up so many points that game. That game wasn't all on Dak. I'm not putting that game on Dak.
No, I want it's both three-phase game. Offense, defense, special teams. Eddie says I couldn't believe Tolbert knew how to catch that ball going back to the Giants game. It was a hell of a catch. It definitely was.
I think about the Steelers game. That Steelers game, yeah.
Go ahead.
It was a good throw. Dak just saw him in the end zone. It's a corner. Took a chance, and there it was.
I think Tolbert must have watched one of our shows when I always say every blind squirrel finds a nut once in his lifetime.
Hey, Tolbert had a couple catches this year. He didn't have a bad season.
I'm glad he had 2 catches, Dave. That you remember about. Chris says Dallas has.
He had the one against Washington too. But we'll get there. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chris says Dallas has to move on from. The problem is, Chris, you can't. You're married to him. $90 million against the cap this year. It's $90 million against the cap this year. Next year, I think, is about what I did say, Dave, last time we were talking, $45 million, and then 3 years from now it becomes $16 million. You can't, because no team in the NFL is going to buy his contract where it's mandated that he has a no trade clause. Why would he want to be traded unless he's going to a team? He
has to accept. He has to say that he has the final say on that because
he has a no trade clause. He won't.
Exactly.
He has to sign off on anywhere he goes. But they can't afford him, Chris. I'm very, I know you're happy about this, but Dallas can't move on from him. I mean,
they can't move on from that.
$60 million, $300 million, still up front to him. It's not going to happen because Dave and I went on a salary cap last night. We were talking about it, and Dallas has him locked up for 4 years. It's going to cost us $265 million over the next 4 years to keep this guy on our roster.
Maybe he'll do 2. I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing it's definitely 4. But I'm saying maybe 2. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. And he says Dallas couldn't move the ball in that bad lines. Yeah, they were injured. They had 2 quarters down. I remember that game. It's just insane how we couldn't do it. Yeah, exactly. That's the game where they lost Aiden Hutchinson as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't run the ball with, if your best defensive player goes out of the game, especially a defensive end like Aiden Hutchinson, I'm running that ball. I'm putting an extra tight end on that side.
Well, technically, if you think about it, though, if you think about this for a second, we really didn't have a number 1 running back either at the time because we kept thinking, think about it. Was it going to be Rico? Was it going to be Zeke? We weren't sure. We didn't find out our number 1 until like week 11. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, it's that. That's why I said, Dave. That's why I said I did say 9-8, and I said the reason being is you look at this roster, Dave, with no money going into it. You have $4.5 million, and that's with signing Zeke. It took you down to $3.5 million. For the whole team in free agency, you couldn't go out and get an Austin Eckler. You couldn't go out and get a Derrick Henry. You couldn't go out and get anybody. That's the reason why you couldn't even keep Pollard on the roster because you had a roster where it's just okay. This is what we have. We have to go into it. Rico, yes, he opened my eyes this year, Dave. He really did.
Without a, I mean, he had over 1,000 yards this year, which was great.
But
I mean,
but the thing is, Dave, he's not a true one back. You know what I mean? He's not.
He's a 2 at best, but still, he had a good season. He really did. He ran the ball hard. They started to trust him at the end of the year. If you really think about it, go back to like week 10 or 11. They really started to see, okay, Rico is our number one. He's going to be the guy. Zeke, you're on the bench. See ya.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad when Zeke gets, he misses meeting. He gets banned from a game, of course. Then you bring in, we're not going to get into it. We brought in, Dalvin Cook. Oh, God damn.
But what was the point to that?
He played 2 snaps the entire
He played 2 snaps all season.
And they were negative yards for 2 snaps.
And I was trying to be positive on it. I'm thinking, okay, Dalvin Cook, maybe he's going to come back. Maybe he's going to.
You're right. You're trying to be positive. I think you're.
I did. Well, I figured because his brother James is in Buffalo, I figured, set it up. Dalvin Cook, Minnesota. He was great in Minnesota. He had great years in there, And I figured being back, and I figured being back with Zimmer, I thought, okay, who knows? Maybe a rejuvenated Dalvin Cook. Wasn't the case.
The water's different in Dallas, Dave. Okay, the water's different in Dallas. Okay,
without a doubt. But I mean, the problem was he couldn't get off the practice squad. Every time he turned around, he's on the practice squad. There's Dalvin Cook on the practice squad. They finally bring him up, and you're thinking, okay, they'll give him a couple of touches, see what he looks like. Wasn't the case.
Yeah, two carries the entire season for negative yards. That's pretty damn good. For $1 million, he got his $1 million. At least he can eat now. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Chris says too much money. Exactly, Chris. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No team wants to buy out that contract. It's not going to happen. It's just too money. We're married to him. It is what it is. I can see maybe 1 or 2 years, buy out the contract at year 2 or year 3 going into it, owing him still $120 million. Let him ride that out. Then you take that dead cap space and you go toward the future. But you're married to him for at least 2 years right now. Unless he gets you the promise.
But there is a positive to this, though. You have to think about this for a second.
Oh, Dave, please. I need positivity. Man.
There is a positive to this. Am I the only one seeing the light here? Am I the only one seeing
Obviously, you're the only one that sees the light, Dave, in a 7-10 season.
Right. Well, okay, yeah, 7-10 season, I get it. But there is a positive to this. Our quarterback right now and our new head coach right now are pretty on the same level, are on the same page. I kind of like it.
Okay, Dave, but let me ask you this, Dave. I'm just going to retaliate with what you said right there, okay? All the viewers out there, Dave and I go back at this every freaking show. Even off air, we do it. But then at the end of the night, Dave, you're my little brother, man. I love you.
Mr. Schottenheimer and Mr. Prescott are I'm telling you, they're on the same page, and I like it. It's going to be good. It's going to be. I think it's going to be good.
So Dave, this is a big difference when you have Schottenheimer saying, "Dak, we're on the same page this year." When you had Mike McCarthy being the OC for 4 years, Dave, why couldn't they get it done? What's the difference between Schottenheimer saying, "Dak"?
Because you ran the same 6 plays over and over again. Come on now.
Well, okay, then you tell me what Schottenheimer going to do. Is he going to let Dak?
He's going to open it up. He's going to open up the offense. He's going to open it up. I'm telling you.
So we're not going to get.
We're going to be.
We should.
Okay,
but.
I guess the word that I'm looking for is going to be creativity. Is going to get better than what it was the last 3 years. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Call me crazy. Call me crazy.
Crazy.
But the creativity of what the same 6 plays you saw McCarthy run constantly that we knew. Oh, here we go. Off tackle. You know what I'm saying. But I think with Schottenheimer's going to spread the offense out. Things are going to start to work and things are going to start to click. I'm telling you. I'm feeling it.
Dave, I'm just going to say one word. Crazy.
Hey, call it. That's fine.
All right.
I'm defending my quarterback as much as I can, and that's all I can do to give you right now.
Who the hell are you? Terrell Owens? That's my quarterback.
That's right.
Oh, my God, Dave. God, Dave. Okay.
Hey, shot. It's going to be – we're in a Shotzi world now. I'm just saying, it's a whole new world now. We got – everything is new.
Boy, I can't wait till we do our predictions this year, Dave. I said 9.
The schedule's not even out yet, so we don't know.
You guys are probably going to put me in a Looney Tunes hospital when I say my prediction. God. All right, let's get to the comments real quick. Then we go on to the other games. Dak is freaking Quincy Carter. I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't go that far.
But the crazy thing is, Dave, there's only one person in the world that has a Quincy Carter jersey.
Yeah, you.
Me. You're right. I have a Quincy Carter jersey. That tells you how crazy I am. You're right. Damn, y'all stuck with them. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome, Chris. My mom always said to me, be nice to people, pay it forward, and I'm paying it forward because we're stuck with Dak. Okay. Very simple.
I heard the Eagles got a new coordinator today.
Yeah, that Papila guy, whatever his name is. You knew he was going to get hired because he worked under Kellen Moore.
Oh, I thought they were going to go. I thought they were going the Frank Reich direction.
No, I would go with Kellen Moore. His predecessor is this guy here. He worked under him, so he knows the offense too.
I don't even know the guy's name. I heard it this afternoon.
Starts with a P. I know that. But Chris BC says, got to get him weapons, but no money. Chris, you're 100% right. Dallas does nothing in the free agency right now. You guys have, what did I say, Dave? The Eagles have $36 million in cap space. The Commanders have $90-some million in cap space, or no, 75 or something like $75 or $95 million in cap space. Dallas right now, Chris, has $4.5 million. But let me rephrase that, Dave. Let me rephrase that to Chris. $4.5 million in the cap to sign players going in. But Chris, there's one thing before that. It's negative $4.5 million.
Yeah, we're doing so well.
We don't have money to sign freaking if the whole Eagles roster said, hey, we'll come play with you for $1 a piece. We couldn't even afford $53 fucking dollars. We are negative $4.5 million.
If you reconstruct a couple contracts here and there, we can make it happen.
Well, Dave, you better reconstruct your top 5 players, and that's going to be Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Terrence Steele. Who else, Dave? Trayvon Diggs. Michael Parsons, Dave.
You said Steele, right?
Steele, $18 million, Dave. $18 million, Dave.
I got you.
18, Dave. 1-8, not one, Dave, not $8 million for Terrence Steele, the revolving Mr. Sack. I give up sacks all day long. Okay.
It's funny. Everybody's talking about this Myles Garrett thing. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, Myles Garrett's going here. He might go there." Cleveland still owns the rights to him. So Cleveland, they don't have to trade him if they don't want to.
He has 2 years left on his contract, $25 million apiece. If somebody wants him, they're going to have to pay a first round, probably a second round come up in the future. But one thing,
the only team I can see doing that right now is Washington, to me, because they have the money to do it.
Washington, Raiders, and Patriots.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'll tell you one thing, Dave. I know where he's not going.
I know where he's not going to.
He's not going to us, Dave. We can't pay him, Dave.
But the funny part is he wants to come to Big T.
Because he knows if he comes here, Dave, if Jerry paid him, it would be the most ridiculous contract in the world. Because to me, players come here to get paid and don't care about shit anymore.
Is he from Texas too?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think he is from Texas. I thought I heard that.
Well, Dave, unless he comes and plays for us $1 a year, maybe we can afford that after we cut some damn players. But I know he ain't coming here, Dave. I'll tell you that because we can't.
I think he's gonna. I think Washington's a spot for him. I'm going to say Washington's spot for him.
Anyway, let's go to the comments, Dave. Then we'll get to the rest of the season here because we got to get to the 7-10 schedule somehow.
Oh God, we're still on this.
Yeah, Dave. Hey, right now we're still under 500 right now, but we do make a comeback, but we really don't get there. But and he says put the blame on McCarthy for not playing Cook. Cook was hurt though this year too. He was working his way back to. There was like 7 games that he missed. But then again, when the games he played, when you eye down, Dave, CeeDee Lamb 13 to 14 times a game, Dave, it just shows you that it's more just eyeing down one progression of your read, Dave, and not looking at the entire field.
We had CeeDee playing running back at one point. That's how bad.
Well, Dave, when you have a weapon like that, I coach and I always put my fastest player at wide receiver, moving him on jet sweeps. You got to get him that because Dave, that controls your defense too. That safety has to come across. The quarter's not going to come all across. He's going to pass them off to a safety usually. This way, it's 1-on-1 somewhere on the opposite side of the field. But no, we didn't do that, Dave. We just ran CeeDee to the ground, basically.
Well, we ran him to the ground, and by the time of week 13, 14, he was done. Mm-hmm. He was done. His shoulder was all messed up.
And Dave, I think I told you this during the season. Every game for the Dallas Cowboys, I always bet CeeDee Lamb's over 3 catches in the first quarter.
But it's so funny.
It was guaranteed.
When you watch him live, he's so good. My God, he's just. I mean, he cuts on a dime. His hands are. He catches everything.
It'd be nice to have another wide receiver to compliment him, wouldn't it?
Well, we had one a long time ago, but we got rid of him.
Who, your boy who?
Amari Cooper.
Couldn't pay him $20 million a year, Dave.
But we had him. We had him. He was it's funny. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to the Amari Cooper year. We were 3-5. We were 3-5 when Amari Cooper came to this team. And what happened? We won the division.
And one of the most overpaid deals that we ever congratulated.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, but Cooper and Dak were on the same page. Dak actually had that was a great year for him, if you think about it.
You gave up 2 number 1 picks, Dave, for Amari Cooper.
Hey, it wasn't a bad deal, though, at the time.
And gave him a range from, I believe, $14 million to $20 million.
I mean, he's coming from the Raiders. He was actually, he was doing okay there. I mean, actually, it wasn't a bad move at the time. It really wasn't, if you think about it.
No, it wasn't, but it was overpaid, Dave. All right, let's get to the rest of the comments here because we got to move on here, Dave. Okay, where are we at, Dave? Let's talk about this for a second. Let's talk about this. Eddie says, how do you feel with the Eagles winning, being a Dallas fan? Dave, I'll let you go first because we have different views on this.
It pains me to say it. They had a great year. I mean, they just didn't lose. They couldn't. I mean, every game they played, they dominated. It was. I think the closest game they had was that Rams game, and what Stafford was 15 yards away, and almost had him. I mean, think about it.
Playoffs.
I mean, Stafford. If Stafford's on the 15 yard, I mean, if you give him an extra 6 seconds, Eagles lose 29-28. Game's over.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but they didn't.
I'm just saying. I mean, Stafford had. I mean, Stafford played his butt off that game, and the snow had something to do with that game too. That's for sure.
Yeah. To me, Chris, to answer your question, there's only one thing I play for, and it's called the Lombardi Trophy every year. If you don't win it, your team sucks. Very simple. I don't care if you go 17-0, you lose Super Bowl, you don't win it in my eyes. I play for one goal. That's it. Congratulations to the Eagles. It hates me to painfully say that, but to me, first and foremost, I'm a Cowboys fan 100%. Always been, always will be, no matter what. But my thing is, I'm a fan of the game first, number one. I respect greatness when I see it. A lot of people don't like the Chiefs for winning back-to-back, going for a three-peat. I've seen history in the making. I like to see history being broken or history being not said. Congratulations, Eagles, because to me, that Super Bowl is one of the most dominating performances that I've seen in a long time. Going back to the Denver Super Bowl, Dave,
Yeah, that was.
I respect it when I see it. You know what I mean? It pains me to say, but I respect seeing a team stay hot all season long and don't have a downfall. Just continue to grow. And the last thing I'll say is, Chris, you have 2 MVPs on that team. Number one is Saquon Barkley. Okay.
Yeah, he definitely made a difference for them.
Or people call him Sayshawn.
Sayshawn, whatever.
Sayshawn Barkley. Saquon had your MVP season, but your true MVP to me will always be Howie fucking Roseman. That's your MVP.
Yeah, you keep praising that guy.
What is not to praise, Dave? He's a genius.
Well, he's right now. He looks like it.
He's a genius, Dave. He's a genius.
It'll bite him. It'll bite him in the future.
There's nothing positive about the dumb bum Prescott. Well, we'll see. I mean, according to Dave, he's got a new OC. There's your new head coach. He's going to be MVP.
I didn't say that. I just said he's going to be a little better. I never said that.
All right, let's get to the comments real quick. Marty's one mistake in life was not pulling out. Thanks for McCarty. Oh my God, he's talking about his son and his dad. Oh my God, pulling out. Oh God,
that's just wrong.
That is wrong, but that is wrong because everybody's a product of a squirt once in a while. You know what I mean? I'm a product of a squirt. I turned
What's
out
that
okay. Dave, did you take your meds today?
For what?
I think he's saying that, Chris rephrased that. I think it's because
why am I taking my meds? For what reason?
You're always
because Stafford was 15 yards away from beating y'all? Is that my meds? Is that what he's talking about?
I think he's because you're so positive, Dave, on the Cowboys.
Oh, somebody has to be.
Brian has never produced a good offense ever. No, I agree with that one too. He's an old school coach. I think old school.
Wait a minute, Brian. Wait. Go back here. Go back to that one. Brian, did he not do well in Seattle when he was with Russell Wilson? Am I mistaken here?
What was he, Dave? Was he the OC?
He was the offense coordinator.
Did the offense put up hell of a points?
Did they go to there? They went far with Russell when he was there.
Who was the running back, Dave?
Was that Sean Alexander? No, who was it?
Was it the Beast?
Oh, yes, that's right. Beast mode. Sorry, wrong guy.
You
You're
can't
right.
go wrong with giving the ball to a running back that can get you yards, Dave. Right?
Well, yeah, but that was
And a,
all. That
de-
was
and a,
peak.
and a, de-
That was the peak call. Shots
and
had
a,
nothing to
and
do with
a,
that.
and a defense that's called Legion of Boom, Dave, that helps you
Right,
on defense
but
too.
still, I mean, but think about it this way. I mean, Shots has been around the league. It's not like he's not he's no rookie to this league. He's been around a long time.
Yeah, but Dave, there's a difference between old school coaches and new school coaches. You need to be more than vanilla here because you don't have the offensive line to be
I'm
that
telling
old
you,
school coach.
give Shots time. I really believe that this offense is gonna gel once they get started. I'm telling you.
All right, let's go through the comments real quick. Dak doesn't plan on restructuring. Hell, I wouldn't be either. Number one, I can see the Redskins. I think he's talking about maybe Myles Garrett.
I can see Miles going to Washington. Yeah.
Chris says y'all had a heart attack if he comes to Philly. That's one of the things, but I think he is a possibility because the thing is, you got to lose. You're going to give up Josh Sweat. You got to sign Becton this year, number one. If you let Josh Sweat go, that's a big counteraction there. You bring in
What's
Myles
Jordan
Garrett.
Davis's deal? What's his deal? Is he on his last year?
Yeah, they'll re-sign him. He's a young player.
Okay, we'll see. Okay.
They'll keep him. He's not going to mandate a max contract. They'll keep him for not league minimum. They're between like a $5 to $10 million deal, long-term deal. Okay. I think so. But I think he could go to Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett could go to the Eagles. I wouldn't. I'd be pissed about it.
I don't think so. I think Washington's the spot for him. I really do.
Well, I understand it money-wise, Dave. The Eagles could pull it off because Howie could say, okay, we'll buy it out. Listen, the difference between the Eagles and any other team right there, Washington in exact two, especially us, we have to draft to fill spots on our team, Dave. The Eagles don't have to do that. They can draft to plug and play depth players. We can't do that. The Eagles can go ahead and get up a 1 this year, a 1 next year. Because think about this, Dave. The Eagles aren't going to be a bum-ass team next year. They're going to be at least 11-6 next year, which is going to give them probably, I'm going to say 11-6 is probably going to put you at what? 20th, 21, 22 in the draft. So
it'll be interesting to see how they look with the new offensive coordinator, though. I'm kind of interested to see that.
I think they'll be just fine because he's a product of Kellen Moore. He's learned under Kellen Moore, so I think he'll be fine. Does Dallas move on from Micah since they don't have the money to sign him?
No.
Well, I'll let you answer this one, Dave, because according to your boy Mike Fisher, he's going to take a $10 million discount.
I would say right now, Micah Parsons isn't going anywhere. He's staying in Dallas. He's not going.
Well, I think it's going to be a good thing. Is it a good thing that he doesn't?
Doesn't. Michael wants to be a Cowboy. Micah, believe me, I'd be very surprised if Michael went anywhere else. He's not staying. He's not going.
What's that?
They'll pay Michael. They'll pay him.
All right. I think he does sign, but I don't think he signs for a big I think he signs for a big contract, which puts Dallas negative more than it already is. Put it that way.
I can see that.
And he says, I was happy for Saquon. I was too. I mean, I like to see, people like that do that. And he's a person that actually played for the right reasons. He had chances to break the record, and he didn't do it. You know what I mean?
It's not that I'm not happy for Saquon. My God, 2,000 yards. You can't. The guy was amazing. It just blows my mind that the Giants let him go. I can't figure that out for the life of me.
You only blame one person, though. You blame the GM.
You have to. I mean, they put all their money in stock in Daniel Jones. That was a bad decision. They should have just kept Barkley and did what they had to do.
Yeah, Vic Fangio was a big addition to their defense. I mean, the way he ran that defense, his scheme is just, Eddie says about, I'm sorry, where is it?
I just can't understand. What were the Giants thinking, man? I don't get it.
I have no idea, Dave. I have no idea.
I mean, you were a few $1 million off to what Saquon wanted for the Giants. I mean, come on.
What's that?
I said you were a few $1 million off for what Saquon wanted for the Giants. I mean,
yeah, but still, I mean, you can't blame Saquon. You got to blame the GM.
I'm not blaming Barkley at all. I'm just blaming the GM. I mean, my God, you had the best running back in the league, and you let him go.
Yeah. I mean, Chris says about Dak there. I think he's talking about coming there. He'll never go there because you guys can't afford it. I mean, you've got it. The Eagles took. I mean, you're talking about Dak coming to the Eagles. If you did, please, thank God, that would be Christmas in freaking April for me. If you did,
for you.
Has he ever been offered a job? No. See, that's the thing. He hasn't been offered a job.
No, shot. No, he hasn't. But
no,
I mean, think of it this way: if any other coaches been offered jobs that got jobs this year too, I mean, come on. I mean, go that direction.
Dave, to me, it's like, you're at a store, you go to Wawa, since you're down in Philly, you go down to Wawa and you're sitting there like, yeah, can I get a hoagie? Yeah, I really want that Italian hoagie. I'm really craving that Italian hoagie. Dave, all we have is bologna and cheese. Oh,
Mm,
shit, I'll take the bologna and cheese. Oh, you want the Schottenheimer special? Yeah, I'll take it. That's what it was to me, Dave. That's what it was to me.
I understand. I get it.
Yeah, that's what it was to me. Seattle's defense carried Russell Wilson. I agree with that one too. When you have a running back like that, in Marshawn Lynch out there, you didn't really have to, you played not to lose and not to win. That defense carried you, Dave. That defense carried you.
They did.
I left for a while, but I'm back. There you go, Larry. I appreciate. Hope you're feeling a lot better, man. Hope you're feeling a lot better.
Larry, how you feeling, man? How's the hiccups? Hiccups good.
And he says Legion of Boom. Exactly. Wilson was a very overrated quarterback. He fit their scheme, though. That was the thing.
He was good with Pete Carroll because he had a good scheme out there. That's why they did well.
I mean,
he had receivers too at the time. You think about it. I mean,
Chris says we signed. We you already did or not? Because I haven't looked at it in a couple of days. A 1-year contract. Okay. Well, there you go. Then I don't think you're going. The writing's out on the wall because to me, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be too much to get rid of, or for them to get rid of to get Myles Garrett. Because you're going to look at least probably 2 first-round draft picks.
That's a lot for Myles Garrett.
You think about it because you got to sign Micah Becton and you got to sign Bond, the linebacker, too. So that's a lot. And the money that I'm not worried about because the Eagles can pull money with the cap going up $35 million this year. You're going to have money to play with. But do you really want to give up 2 first-round picks and possibly a second in your 3rd year?
It's not like he's 25. He's 29. I mean.
Yeah, I get that, Dave. But I mean, to them, then you can move Josh Sweat to the bench, Dave. You can do that. It's a rotation player, but man, talk about you run them for 2 years, and then which is fine because the Eagles, they're young still. Their defense is still young.
Oh, they're working on that Zach Bond contract. I keep hearing.
To me, if Howie can pull it off, my God. But it's going to be about the draft picks and what assets you want to give up. It's not about the money to me with the Eagles. No. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Larry says he's the new puppet in town. I'm looking for an apartment near Arrowhead. Shit, I'm moving back to Philly next week. Shit, I'm going to be back in Philly next week. Shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going back. I'm going to see if my old house is for sale, Dave. I might be moving back on Mulberry Street.
All right, Larry, are we back to the Dave Campo years? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, Dave Campo. Dave, do we have to go there?
That's what I keep hearing, but I don't want to go down that route right now.
Yeah, Michael wants to win. I agree with that one too. I mean, I think he does.
He does want to win. What? I mean, why not?
Brian only had one job because of his last name. I agree with that one too. I mean, Jerry Jones is a very good. I want to say he's a very.
Okay, are we playing Marty ball now? Is that what we're doing? Running the ball? That's what Marty Shots did.
Well, Dave, with an offensive line that you're still trying to plug and play in pieces together, I don't think it's gonna. Hey,
Marty Schottenheimer was not a bad coach. I mean,
Eddie says sweating 2 first-rounders for Garrett. Yeah, I could see that. Maybe that is a Howie Roseman thing that Chris said that because if they sign him for 1 year, that contract. Chris, if you're still on, let me know what he got signed for. How much
Eddie playing GM right there, Paul.
No, but you know what? That's smart though because if Chris is still on, Chris, what did he sign for Josh Sweat for his one year deal? Because that does make sense. Josh Sweat is no bum. If he's signed for 1 year,
I don't think Howie would do that.
I think Howie's a very good book person, David. This does make sense to me if you think about it.
It does, but I don't think Howie would go that route.
I think he would because it's a takeoff. Say he signs for $7 million. You take that off the book off of 7 for 25. You only pay Garrett for 18.5. You can renegotiate that 2nd-year contract because he becomes your property and say, hey, we'll give you a 3-year deal. Let's base it out 15, 15, 15, Dave. That's a smart move if you think about that. Plus we'll give you 2 first-rounders. Who would say no to that? You're still plugging a play with a guy in Josh Sweat for 1 year. If you don't pan out, you get rid of him. You know what I mean? Plus, you still get your first-rounders, Dave, and you lost Myles Garrett's contract. I'd do that, Dave, if I was them. 100%.
We'll see.
Any question mark? Eddie, I like that point. I definitely do about the hoagie. Thank you, Larry. See, Larry, you go there. Say if we go up here, you and I go out, man. We're craving this, this meatball parm sandwich or whatever. We get up there after a long ass wait, and we're sitting there, and we're like, Paul, Larry, what do you guys want? Yeah, I want that chicken parm, toasted roll, a little bit extra on this little sauce. Larry Paul, I'm very sorry. All we have is a lettuce and cheese sandwich.
Now we're going to Hokies.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Like, that's what it was. Like, you're okay. Shit, Larry, I'm fucking hungry, Paul. I'm hungry too. We got to get it. That was the shot timer special.
Where are we on the schedule here?
All right, hold on. Whether I'd rather live in a dumpster I lived in Philly, man. Right in Northeast Philadelphia. I think I'm like 5 blocks from Chris. I think Chris lives on Tyson Avenue, actually. Pretty damn close. What did
that comment say again? I'd rather live in a dumpster than live in Philly. Is that right?
Yep. Certain parts of Philly, I agree with that one too.
I can't argue that.
I mean, that's the reason why I moved out of Philadelphia. Definitely. All right, Dave. Let's get to the season real quick.
Where are we?
All right, Dave. We are playing one of our division rivals. Dave, I had this game as a win. I remember saying this game as a win. We go to Levi Stadium and play the San Francisco 49ers, Dave. We lose 24-30, Dave.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, you know what? Let's run through the season. We're not going to go through every game.
Just run through it right now because
all right, Dave. Now, this game right here, Dave, this has good things and bad things. Good thing is your ass was down there, happy as hell, and, in the Georgia Dome, Dave, down there having fun. But, Dave, this is the game where we lost our $60 million quarterback.
We did in the third quarter, and actually we didn't know about it. It was tough in the stands because we weren't sure what was going on.
I remember I texted you. I said it was a hamstring. Remember?
You said it was a ham. Yeah, you said it. I think you said thumb or something, didn't you? Hamstring.
Well,
thumb?
he did have that thumb injury too. He did.
Right. Yeah. The only thing I think that was the Rico catch in the end zone. If you remember, he caught it throwing up in the air. He was on the ground and he caught fall, and we were like, "Yeah, we're still in this,"
We did lose 21-27.
Actually,
we lost.
Yeah, Dak actually wasn't playing bad until the injury happened in that game. He really wasn't playing bad. He really wasn't. Yeah, he had 2 nice runs. The one run he ran out of bounds. I think he got maybe 15 yards maybe on it, which wasn't bad. And then all of a sudden, pulls up lame, and you're thinking, okay, something's not right. And there's Cooper Rush throwing on the sideline, like, oh shit.
Yeah, because you're live at the game, and when I watch the game, I'm like live. I'm like watching it on the field too with my cable that I have. I'm ahead of everybody like who watches on regular TV. Like 15, 20 seconds, and I'm thinking like, oh shit. And when they reported it, it's the thumb that he hit his thumb on a helmet or something, and then right back they said he's in the tent due to a hamstring, and that's what
hamstring.
I was like, it's his hamstring, Dave. Hamstring.
Well, it was funny. It came right when you texted me. It came on the board on the screen. It said Dak in the tent with the hamstring. We were like, oh no! And all Cowboy Nation in that building were like, you got to be kidding me! This is not happening. But it was bad.
All right. Well, we lose that game, Dave, 21-27. Now we're going back home feeling okay. You know what? We're going back home.
Actually, Cooper came in there and kept us in that game for the most part for what he had to, the third quarter. But it was just the fact that just losing Dak was like, come on.
Well, Dave, a loss is a loss. That's all I'm going to say. So we go back home, Dave. We're playing that team that we don't like. The Eagle Kelly green colors. Dave, talk about a beatdown, 34-6.
Yeah, that was. It's a shame we lost Dak the game before. I think it would have been a different story. But
I don't know, Dave. I don't know. I don't know, Dave.
I'm not saying we would have won the game, but it might have been a little closer than what it was.
I don't know, Dave. I don't know, Dave. I don't know. Okay, let's move on because I really don't want to talk about the Super Bowl champion Eagles. Okay?
No, please don't.
All right, Dave. So guess what, Dave? We're at home again. We play, we're keeping it in Texas. This is the Battle of Texas, Dave. We're playing the Texans. Well, Dave, let's talk about this. 34-10. We lost.
Yeah, they tore us up.
Well, Dave.
Defense just didn't have it. We couldn't,
Dave, well, I don't know what you're saying. The defense didn't have. Defense didn't have it 6 games already. They didn't have it, Dave.
I know. Well, they turned it around in week 11, 12, something like that.
Well, Dave, you know what? We're riding on a low here. Our heads are down low. I got a box of tissues for every 5 hours of the game here. But you know what, Dave? We go to Washington, and Dave, we win this game. You were there.
I was there for that one.
Dave, can we talk about this? Can we talk about the last play of the game here? Was it?
I'll tell you, turpentine, baby. It was you know what? That place went so silent when he took that ball. It went all the way. All Cowboy fans were like, "We're back! We're back! We're in this! We're feeling good about ourselves." 2 runbacks, not one but 2 on two kickoffs, which was huge. And Cooper Rush kept the game, but Terry McLaurin has that huge run, and you're thinking, "Oh my God, they're going to tie the game up." But no, what happens? They missed the extra point, and I called that. I was in my stand. I said he's going to miss the extra point because, and I'll tell you why. I was watching him at halftime, the kicker for Washington. He missed 3 out of 4 from the same spot. He missed the extra point. I'm thinking he ain't making this. And what happened? He shanked it left.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, as a UFC fan, there was a kick by Leon Edwards. It's called the kick heard around the world. And I remember during this game, I put on Twitter, this was the spin scene.
Spin.
Yes. Great game. We won 34-26. We're riding high, beat a division rival. Hell, we're still below 500, but this is when Dave texted me, we're going back, baby. We're coming back. We're making a run. This is it. Paul, get the keys. Crank it up. We're going. We're going to get the division. We still have a shot to make the playoffs. I'm like, Dave, slow down whenever you had to drink it, down in Washington. Slow it down. Take time. Pull over. Relax. Get the juice out of your system. Slow it down. Dave.
But it was so funny. We're leaving the building. We're leaving the stadium. And everybody's like, "Oh, Calvin, we are back. We are back. We're rolling. We got things." And I thought, it was a good way to finish that game the way we did. Wanye Thomas takes it to the end zone. Let's go.
Wanye Thomas, his one play of the season.
Hey, and it was a big one.
Hey, you know what? Turpin and Wanye, you got us a win. Very simple, So next week, Dave, we go back home. We're playing the Giants. Dave, we win this game 20-27. Dave.
That was Thanksgiving Day too.
Dave's happy. Dave's congratulating himself. He's high-fiving it.
Hey, that was the day your boy had the interception, the pick 6.
What's his name, Dave?
I know. Come on now.
What's his name? Who had the pick, Dave?
DeVarvian Overshone.
Yeah, I remember during this draft, nobody knew this kid's name, and I said, this is going to be the steal of the draft, DeVarvian Overshone from Texas University. He's going to be the best linebacker.
And that pick was sweet, too. He picked that off, tipped it up in the air, caught it, went to the end zone. We're thinking, oh, man, here we go.
Yeah, I was glad to see him get in the game, get a good play there. Because that game, that tip pass, man, was just so insane, Dave.
I was at my sister's house that day. We were up in Tom's River, and I'm watching. I'm like, look at this boy go! Like, and the first thing that came to my mind was you. I'm thinking, oh, he's loving this.
Yeah, I was very high on that. Remember our draft special where, that year I think I picked the top 3, our first 3 picks, Dave. I got them, And I've been pretty good with the draft, and I see, I love college football. I'd say this kid is special.
He is
special. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be special, Dave. He's going to be special.
Just hope he comes up healthy this year. It's going to take time. He's recovering.
Yeah, he's recovering. I mean, if this guy can do it, it's going to be him. But the thing is, Dave, the problem is he's based on speed. Overshot is speed.
He's so fast.
And
he's
that's
so
the
fast.
Problem. That's the problem. Larry says Giants never counted. Couldn't be. Giants never count out. Couldn't beat us if we let them. I mean, they're worse off than we are. You know what I mean? Like,
right
if
now
they would have came back and won one of these games, I think I would have just turned my phone off, turned my internet off, and just laid in my bed until.
I can't wait to see what they do in the draft. I'm kind of interested to see what they do.
Well, that's going to be coming up in a couple, 4 weeks. We're going to talk about the draft.
That's in April, right? April
13th or 6th, something like that area. Second week.
Some of that area. Yeah.
But let's talk about this game, Dave, because this, I didn't forget what game it was, but I just remember the play. We're at home we play the Cincinnati Bengals, which, Dave, me as a coach, Dave, I get very pissed off at fundamental plays. That kick, Dave, that kick, why did that son of a bitch touch the ball, Dave?
It's funny. That game,
fundamental football, Dave.
But we played the Bengals so good that game. We were on point. Everything was working. Even Cooper Rush was having a good game that day. And then defense was on. They were all over Burrow all day long. Yeah. But that one, and it's funny because everybody on the special teams literally told him, "Don't touch it."
Yeah.
But it hit off his shoulder. It's not like You know, I mean, it was
Dave, when you play
kind of
special
a freak
teams,
accident. You know.
and to me, it's not a freak accident, Dave. That's just like you're on a fair catch. We always have kill words on offense. Receiving the ball. If you hear the back receiver say, Dave, 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 that means kill the goddamn ball. Get the hell away from the ball. I'm not even going to be near it. Don't come near me to debacle my arms hitting the ball. On special teams, Dave, same way. If you're doing that, everybody has a kill word, Dave.
Mhm.
Everybody has a kill word. To me, I blame 100% coaching staff because, Dave, you put your damn team in a position because, Dave, you hear me say this all the time. What you do on a practice field is what you do on a live field. The
Yeah.
more you do it on a practice field, the easier it gets on a live football field, Dave. And to me, reps mean something, Dave, and it wasn't either done or said. But
No.
then again, said because players said it, don't touch the fucking ball.
And you know what? I felt so bad for that for the player who actually touched it because at the end of the game, all the reporters were all over him when it was over, and every single player defended him and like made sure that he didn't, like they were like, "Don't talk, let it
Agreed.
go," which was good, and I was okay with that. But think about it: we get the ball at the 45.
It could have been a different game, Dave.
A Brandon kick, game's over. We pull that off.
Well, no, you're still down 7. You're still down 7.
No, it wasn't 7. I thought it was 3.
No, 27-20 we lost.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You had to
Oh,
score a touchdown.
I thought a field goal would have won it.
Mm-hmm. No, you had to score a touchdown.
Okay.
You had to score a touchdown. Yep. Because that's the reason why when they scored the touchdown, they didn't go for the field goal because you needed 2 touchdowns to come back and win the game. They weren't down 10. They were down 14 at the point. So you had to score 2. That's why they went for the touchdown to score. Because a lot of, like, to me, if there's a certain amount on time clock, I'm down 10 points. If I can't get in the end zone,
Wait a minute. Is this not a game? I thought we were down. I thought we were only down 3.
No, it's 27. Dave, I'm not lying, dude. It's 27-20.
27-20 final? Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
I hate to say a loss is a loss, but,
it
is what it is. But, all right, let's move on, Dave. Hey, this game here, we win, Dave. We win against the lonely Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that was funny. We started off slow that game, and then all of a sudden we picked it up in the third quarter.
Yeah.
If you think about it, because we were sacking Bryce Young all day in the third quarter. Because actually, I think we were down. No, we were winning 14-10. I think it was 14-10 going into the half, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we third quarter, we woke up, man. We sacked him like 3 or 4 times and threw an interception, and we got the pick, and we were just moving. Next thing you know, we were up like 31 to something.
Yep. And then, next week we go back home. And Dave, I'm going to tell a little funny story. I remember this exactly in my mind. You called me and said, Paul. I was like, yes, Dave. He's like, let me pick your brain. And I'm like, Dave, you always do that. Here we go. And I remember you saying, Paul, think about this. Just hear me out. I think we can make the playoffs. And I said, Dave, you're crazy. We're not making the playoffs. Dave, did you or did you not say we're going to make the playoffs? At this point?
I thought we would win the next 4 out of 5. We would. I thought we'd get in.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Yeah.
Hey, I was a positive guy.
Dave, I think you're the most positive person when it comes to the Cowboys that I know.
I try to be.
See, I think you're coming down to whatever I'm drinking here, Dave. I think you're drinking it too because you're starting to see what I'm saying, Dave.
Well, I'm seeing things. My positive is still there.
Your positive is there, but you're seeing things through my 4 eyes.
I'm starting to see things slowly but surely. Let's put it that way.
I'm rubbing off on you already, Dave.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, Dave.
Not as bad as it could be.
Well, Dave, you know what? Your wheels were rolling because you know what? We do play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We win this game, Dave, 24-26. Dave, I remember right after this game, I told you, Paul. We're making the playoffs, Paul. Dave, we're not going to make the playoffs. We're playing 2 teams coming into the next weeks that are fighting for divisions and seeding, Dave. We're not going to the playoffs, Dave. We're losing. Paul, we're not. I'm telling you, I see it in this team. We just beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Dave, Paul. We beat the Panthers. We barely lost to the Bengals. We beat the Giants. We beat the Commanders. Paul, we're making the playoff run. Dave, we're not. Dave, how hyped were you after this game? Because you're still thinking we're making the playoffs.
I thought we had a shot. I really did. I thought we were, it was It was a big win against Tampa, you know? I mean,
Larry says, I love when I see Dave's number call, and he says, let me call to pick my brain. Dave.
I pick Larry's brain too about wrestling every once in a while, so you know it's all good.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, sometimes you need that person to call you and put you back down. Like,
yeah, I surprised him that night. He's like, "What's up?" We sat there, we talked for like an hour and a half.
Like Dave, usually when you call me, I'm like, "All right, Dave, I got 5 minutes. Talk to me. Let me pick your brain." We ended up talking for an hour and a half, and then he's like, Dave, where did time go? You know, I'm telling you, Dave, we're not going to make the playoffs. But, you know, you're thinking, hey, Dave, listen, 4 out of 5 here, you're going to make the playoffs now. So you're rolling pretty high, Dave. But then we come back to reality, Dave. We go to, Lincoln Financial here. And, Dave, we didn't get beat. We got the ass kicked, Dave. 41-7.
Yeah, 41-7. Is that what it was?
Yeah, Dave, 41-7.
Yeah.
41. And this is the worst game I've ever seen Cooper Rush play.
Yeah, it was bad. He had a bad day. Well, he always plays bad in Philly for some reason. I don't know why.
Probably because their front seven is just like workhorse.
That could be one of the reasons.
You know, I mean, Dave, when you're playing the Carolina Panthers and you have like 2 or 3 seconds to drop back, you're playing Tampa Bay, other than Villa, rushing the ball, you got 2 or 3 seconds, You're playing the Commanders. Yes, they are good on defense. You got 2 to 3 seconds. Then you're playing the Eagles thing going into game saying, McCarthy, I got this. I got 2 to 3 seconds to look downfield, reading my progressions. Next thing you know, you take the snap. It's like, bam, you get hit
interception gone.
Well,
yeah,
you get hit in the face.
It was a pick 6, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken,
I think it was 2 of them in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it 2? I thought it was just 1.
Okay. Hell, probably was 3, Dave. It probably was 3.
It could have been 3.
Who are we kidding, Dave? It was probably 4.
Yeah, well,
Yep. All right, Dave, let's talk about the last game of the season here. Dave's thinking, we're going to end this laughing. The last game of the season here, Dave, thank God it's the last game of the season here.
Yeah.
Washington Commanders, Dave. Hey, we held our own 23-19.
We did, and then all of a sudden we blew it in the fourth quarter. Last like 2 minutes left or 30 seconds, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think he found McLaurin, didn't
he? Yeah, for a 55-yard pass.
Great. We were winning that game. We were winning that game the whole time, too.
See, this to me, Dave, when you always call me, pick my brain, I always tell you from a coach's standpoint, this is what bothers me so much of a Zimmer's defense on this play. When you're up, Dave, you're up in a game with time less than where you can lose the game at. You always keep the ball in front of you. You never let anything downfield behind you. This was a busted coverage, Dave. When you're playing a prevent defense, and I don't agree with prevent defenses because everybody's playing a zone. You know what I mean? I don't agree.
Didn't Mariota have that big run, though?
I don't know. Dave probably freaking. I don't remember that shit.
I think Mariota got a big run off of like a QB sneak or something. He just took the ball and went, and then they got down to like the 15, and all of a sudden he found McLaurin. I think it was McLaurin in the end zone.
I don't remember. All I know is you got to keep what's in front of you. You don't let anything behind you. Eddie says, "Go ask Mahomes about the Eagles D line." Yeah, 100%. I agree. When their hashtag was perfectly 100% accurate. Time to hunt. That defensive front seven just hunts you. And their rotation is deep too.
Oh, they kept him. They kept him in the pocket. He couldn't run.
Well, that's what you have to do. Keep it in your pocket.
Well, that's how they beat him. Yeah.
Take away everything. Take away your run. If you can run the ball, take away your lanes. Play man. Gap defense. Your linebackers stay home. If your front seven gets there, front four gets there.
Well, he started to figure them out in the fourth quarter, but that was too late. Too little, too late by that point.
Yeah, I mean, when you're down like that, you're gonna back off a little because if you look at that, the Eagles defense dominated, but still they played a little bit off the ball too. They weren't hunting as much, Dave. You think about it.
Well, that interception, that pick 6 was huge.
Larry says they made him play quarterback for once. Exactly, that's the thing. I mean, yes, he is. He is. Listen,
he's still a great quarterback. I don't care what anybody says.
3 Super Bowls and 5 Super Bowl appearances or 4 appearances already. He's going to be good. But you know what? There is thing called watching film, watching tape. I give credit to Vic Fangio because listen, man, he did his homework. He's seen ways where
do you think that Kansas City went into that game thinking, okay, we're gonna three-peat?
Hell no, Dave. Hell no. There's a reason why nobody's ever three-peated, Dave, right?
No, well, we were close.
Yeah, we could have had a quad. Mm-hmm. Could have had a quad, Dave. Not a
we won 92, we won 93, but we lost in 94.
Yeah, then the idiot took over Switzer.
And then we picked it up at 90. We won it in 95.
That's because he still had the same goddamn team, Dave. The freaking idiot across the street with no eyes and one arm and one leg could have coached that team and won a Super Bowl, Dave.
Hey, come on now.
Larry said exactly. Like he said, he had a Sam Darnold moment. He's seen ghosts. That's what he was. I mean, Mahomes was just out of his line where it's not the same for him when he has all the weapons. And you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, Dave. They lose Tyreek Hill. Whoever thought they would have made it back to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
But Andy Reid is all about picking the right players. I know when Dan and I did the draft special, when we went through everybody on there, and I said, watch them pick up Xavier Worthy. He's like, Dan was like, why? I don't think they will. And I was like, he will go there because it fits the scheme. What are they built on? Speed. That is the Kansas City Chiefs way of life. But you know what? They ran into a team that has Quinyon Mitchell, has Reed Blankenship, has the white boy, Cooper DeJean,
Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean. He's Philly. That motherfucker's Philly. He's Cooper DeJean. He's DeJean. He's the John. He's everything, Dave. He's everything,
He's Cooper.
The Eagles backups were on defense when they put the fourth quarter. Exactly. Eddie, they backed off, man. When you're up 40 to 6, basically, you're going to call the dogs off. You're over there. AJ's chilling. He's reading his goddamn book. You know what I mean? He's reading his book. Kellen Moore saying, I got a chip. I'm going to the Saints. I don't give a fuck. And Sirianni saying F you to the crowd, his little thing.
Well, Sirianni wasn't too happy about the Cooper by the what do you call it, move? Him going to New Orleans.
They plugged the situation, so they're fine. Speed and quick routes. Exactly. That's the thing. That's what they're based on. You really think about it, they only have really one deep threat. But the thing is with Kansas City, you look at the wide receivers they have. Tyreek Hill was a downfield threat. They go out and get Juju Schuster, Miko Hardman, players like this.
Hollywood Brown,
he was supposed to be their deep threat, but he wasn't.
I thought he was going to have a good day that day. I really did. I thought he would step up. It wasn't.
But Dave, I told you, man, I took the Eagles, -8.5. I thought it was going to be a rout. And I said to you, I was like, this team is just built differently on defense where you got two of the top corners and they're in their first year, Dave. What team can say we have the two starting corners and they're both rookies, Dave? They're rookies. And I tell you what, it's just they ran into a juggernaut, very simple, and that's the way it was. But
it's just funny, like the closest to beat them was Stafford. I mean,
yeah, Dave, we were pretty damn close, 40-6. We were pretty damn close.
But Stafford was 15 yards away from beating them.
Yeah, but Dave, you play 60. If you can't get it done in 60 minutes, then you don't get it
done.
Oh,
the offensive lineman blew the block. If you think about it, I mean, he missed the block. The next thing you know, he had what's it called? He was their defensive lineman. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he was all over Stafford by the time he looked up.
Yeah, that's the front seven. When you're down, you time the hunt, and that's the thing. The Eagles don't play prevent when the game's on the line. They don't drop back and just play not to lose. They play to win. They hunt. Yeah. They hunt. A lot of teams.
Well, Stafford went down the field, and if you think about it, Stafford went down the field, right down the field, bang, 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 touchdown, and they were back in it.
Well, the thing is, Dave, and that's like you hear me when our chat all the time. We're talking on the phone. We're up in a game, and I'm thinking, like, why the hell are we playing 7 yards off the ball? They get a first down, they can still continue momentum. They can get downfield score. We're playing 7 yards off the ball on a 3rd and 5. The Eagles on 3rd and 5, 4th and 10. They're playing 8. They're playing 7 yards off the ball. Whatever it is, the sticks are 4th and 10. They're playing 3 yards off the ball. They're on man up on the line. No team does that except for the Eagles, I think. They play man on man up front, beat you. If you beat us downfield, you beat us. But you know what? You better get fast because our front seven is going to play strong. We're going to hunt. And our corners are playing man on man lockdown. You beat us. Dallas, we have no defensive line to get pressure. Our linebackers are playing off the ball injured. And then our corners are like playing 7 yards off the ball. They have a quick slant. That takes you to the house right away. That's exactly what happened on a couple plays this year. 3rd and 5, and we give up a 30-yard slant route, Dave.
This is true.
Craziness. And he says the Rams have Kyron Williams, the Chiefs running backs. Yeah, I love Kyron Williams. Dave, you know where Kyron Williams went to college at?
Off the top of my head, no.
Come on, Dave.
Oh, Notre Dame. Gotcha.
We know. He's a Notre Damer. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chiefs running backs. I mean, you think about their running backs: Kareem Hunt, Isaac Pacheco, and hell, they just got. I just think.
I was thinking Kareem Hunt would have a good day. I thought Pacheco would have a couple good, nice runs. Hollywood Brown have a couple nice catches. Travis would do his thing. Wasn't the case.
That's right, Eddie. Notre Dame, you already know it. One of the best running backs they
ND.
had in a long time. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I
Speaking
think.
of Notre Dame, is your quarterback coming out of the draft?
What do you mean? He's a 6-year senior. He has to.
He has to. Okay.
Yeah, he has to. He's at the combine. He's in the combine.
Where's he going to land?
Sam P. Ryan, right? Is the third back. Yeah, that's
P. Ryan, right? Yeah, that's right.
Sam P.
Yeah.
Ryan. Yep. I mean, you look at their running back.
Former Bengal, wasn't he?
Yeah, P. Ryan was a Bengal. Yeah,
I thought he was.
He was with the Eagles for a while too, if I'm not mistaken. He was a journeyman.
I don't think he was an Eagle, was he?
Yeah, I think he was. P. Ryan, I think he was actually. I'm not sure. No,
I know he was with the Bengals for a long time.
The Eagles have everybody in the NFL, so why not have them? You know what I mean?
Why not?
But I think their starting running back was Pacheco and that Clyde Hilaire or something like
that. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, yeah.
He just got signed somewhere. I think he just signed a 1-year deal somewhere. I think it was actually, you know what? No, he went to the Saints. That's where he went.
Is that where he went? Saints?
Yeah, he's going to the Saints. Clyde Hilaire is going to the Saints. That's what it was.
Oh, wow. Good for him.
I wouldn't say they're weak. They came all halfway back. Pacheco didn't play half the year. Yeah, he was injured. I mean, Pacheco is a different beast.
Yeah,
who would have thought coming from Rutgers University, Pacheco, coming out of the draft, I thought he was going to be something that's mediocre back, but hell, 2 years Super Bowl, played out of his mind. This year he was hurt. So it was like a running back by committee. You know what I mean? Like two running backs equal one, but it wasn't to me a Kareem Hunt, a Sam P. Ryan equals a healthy Pacheco. So
right.
Yeah. And he says the Chiefs need a guy like Gente. I agree with that. They need that. That's the one thing they never really had. That's why they drafted Hilaire out of LSU. That they thought that was going to be the big back, but he really didn't pan out. He didn't pan out because if you're a back at KC, you got to catch out of the backfield. And Hilaire wasn't that guy. Gente, he does, but he's that every down back that can run, 40 times a game. But I don't think that fits the Kansas City Chiefs because that takes, well, you know what? It does benefit them because if you run the ball, you think about it, that opens up so much downfield for these wide receivers.
Yep.
Especially if you're playing 9 in the box, that would definitely make a difference.
I would think so. I mean,
he got too many carries late, Pacheco, that is. I agree 100%, Larry. They should have let Hunt just keep taking the reps. I agree. That's like, if you're coming off injury to me, you should just stay on the shelf for me. Dave, I go back to
Kareem Hunt was running the ball hard. I mean, even in the playoffs, before,
Yeah, but Dave, you know what? You bleed the well dry. I go back to the Julius Jones, Dave. Remember that?
I was a Double J fan.
Yeah, I mean, who was his back, Dave? Who was the back we had? Julius Jones, and who was it?
Was it Chart Choice?
Wasn't it Felix Jones? Wasn't it?
Felix Jones, yes.
Felix Jones and Julius Jones. Remember that? How we had both backs?
The Joneses, yeah.
And Jones got hurt. Felix came in, and then we went back to Julius Jones, and I didn't agree with that. You run Felix because he's been playing good. You do things like that. You don't just get a guy. He's our starting running back. He got hurt 6 weeks ago. He's healthy now. I'm going to bring him back. But we're 5-1. Why do you do that? You know what I mean? You run with a healthy hand, Dave. I don't care if you're on the brink of 2,000 yards in 8 games, whatever.
Felix Jones was special. He was a good running back.
Who?
I think Felix Jones was a good running back.
Yeah, he was a small little lightning back,
Yes, he was.
Yeah. But, Julius Jones, where did he go to school at, Dave,
He was another Notre Dame guy.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. There's Notre Dame guys.
Hey. Pacheco's more of a passer. He's the best catcher they have in the backfield. Yes, I agree with that. Because he does come out of the backfield catching a lot of catches. Because I usually take his yards, receiving and running as well as a combo. I agree. Hilaire's not the guy. Hunt's not the guy. They're just the big bruiser.
Oh, Hunt came off a huge injury too, if you think about it. I mean,
they both did. That was kind of puzzling that they actually signed him. I was kind of questionable about that too.
Well, I think Andy Reid had no choice to bring back Kareem Hunt.
But Dave, let's get back to our season here. It's great that we can talk about other teams, being successful, and let's get back to reality, Dave.
But can I say one thing?
Dave, hell, we've been on here an hour and a half, so go ahead and say what the hell you want to say.
We have the best kicker in the league.
Amen, Dave. Finally, 1 hour and 28 minutes and 37 live viewers. I finally can say, at this point, I can finally agree to something Dave has said during the show. It took you an hour and a half to finally get me to agree with you about something.
Brandon Aubrey. Better than Money Mar.
Oh, he doesn't even compare to Money Maher. He is the Dallas MVP. Dave, didn't remember I put that on there? I was like, the MVP of the season for the Dallas Cowboys is the fucking
Brandon Aubrey. Yep.
And you know what? Eddie agrees. Aubrey is the Dallas MVP.
I gotta love it.
You know, what better way? Like, okay, this offense sucks so bad. My goal as the offensive coordinator and telling Dak or Cooper
Just get the ball to the 35 and guarantee 3 points.
Just, get the kickoff, take it to the zone, get the ball at the 30-yard line. All we need to do is move the ball 40 yards, get down to 35, and I don't care if it's first down, second down, third down. Aubrey, get your ass in there and get me 3 points.
Well, the 63 that he made, and McCarthy was
well, Dave, you remember he broke the record this year. He had a 16-yard kick.
Yeah.
Fucking John McCarthy called timeout. You remember that? Dave, why would you put your kicker in there to make history? To make history, Dave. Go out, Aubrey. This is it. We suck. We suck. We're down 30. But go in there, kick a 69-yard field goal, get the record. You are going to cement yourself in history. Coach, I got it. I can do it. I did it. I know you can, Aubrey. Get in there. And Dave, you know where Aubrey went to school at, right?
Notre Dame.
Yes, Notre Dame, Dave. So you know he had it in his blood, Dave. He gets out there, Coach, I got this. The offensive line, you got this. He's like, chill the fuck out. I got this. He kicks a 69-yard field goal. He jumps up. It's good. Looks over. Fucking McCarthy. Timeout. What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
What would you think, Dave?
Actually, Aubrey was a soccer player too. Think about it.
Yes, he was. And you know what? I just want to say real quick.
And actually, who got him into the NFL? Do you know?
Well, you know what? Yes, I do, Dave, because she follows us on Twitter. His wife follows us on Twitter. Mrs. Aubrey follows us on Twitter.
That is correct. That is correct.
Say, Dave, I know this shit, Dave. I follow my Notre Dame people, Dave. You're damn right. But Dave, think about that. You go out there and you kick the NFL record 69-yard field goal. It's true. It's good. But then you look over and your dumb fucking head
coach calls timeout.
Timeout. Dave, how would you feel?
I'd be pissed.
Woo.
Well, actually, it's funny. They asked Aubrey. They asked him a while back about his longest kicks. He said 69 was was one of his.
That would have had the record, Dave. That would have had the record.
I'll tell you, but he's so. If he leaves his team, I don't know, man. I will not be a happy camper.
I don't think he does, Dave, because he still has 1 year left on the contract. Okay,
good.
It's not a big contract, so he's gonna stay. But Dallas, it wouldn't be the first time that Dallas has actually franchised a kicker before. They've done it before.
Hey, Luis and Dejas.
Which would be an okay deal because if you don't sign it, you cannot go to another team. That's the thing. You own the rights to them, and if you keep them as restricted, you can't even be contacted. And you don't get paid unless you play. And if you don't play, you don't get paid. Very simple.
Oh, we had a great kicker back in the day. If you think about it.
Oh, Dave.
We had a good kicker back in the day. In the Romo days.
You and your kicker, who, Nick Folk?
No.
Oh.
No. Come on.
Dave, I'm not a kicker guy, Dave. I can care less about the kickers. You know me. You're the kicker guy, Dave.
Yeah, I know. Well, actually, Nick Folk was one of the guys I was thinking about. He was.
This guy right here, Dan Bailey.
Dan Bailey, Thunder Dan.
Larry's on the same page.
Dan Bailey.
I was going to say Raphael Septien, the only guy that ever pulled a hamstring by kicking.
Nah, Dan Bailey. Dan was great.
He was, but yeah. I'm sorry, Larry. I'm sorry, man. Dave knows. Dave will be the first one to tell you I am not a kicker person because to me, I don't believe in extra points.
I love kickers.
Am I right, Dave? I don't believe for extra points.
You'd rather go for 2 every time. So
damn right. I love running the score up. 100%. Watch Avery go to the Redskins.
Aubrey.
No, I don't think he will because the fact that he has
Brandon stays. He ain't going nowhere.
They'll franchise it because the highest paid kicker I think is $9 million a year, and when you franchise, your top 15%, so you would only make $7 million a year. I keep him because you can't get rid of Dak Prescott, $60 million, who hasn't done shit. Your kicker scores more points than
his kicker's his savior.
Exactly. Your kicker scores more points than your quarterback those touchdowns. So I am keeping my kicker for $9 million a year.
Got to keep Brandon.
Right. Damn right.
Yeah.
Damn right. All right, Dave. Real quick, I know I told you to kick me in the ass, scream at me when we get to an hour. We're at an hour and 34 here. I want to wrap this up in about 10 minutes. Dave, real quick, before we get into next week, we already know we're going to talk about next week, you and I. But Dave, what happened this year, really quick?
Injuries. I think injuries was the key this year. I really do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think injuries had a lot to do with it. I mean, every time we sit around, we had somebody on the injury list.
Okay.
And what really killed us too, and I've been saying this since week one, Lamb coming into camp late really was a bad thing for us. Him holding out, coming in week one, Dak getting paid week one, everything just happened week one, and that wasn't good. I mean, Dak was a training camp, which was fine. I get that. He was fine. But Lamb holding out was not a good thing.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Dave. I'll even go before that. After the draft, to me, the problem was you're in a rebuild phase because, nothing against the players, Dave. When you make it to the NFL, you're elite. You're top 1% of everybody in the world coming from college playing NFL. So kudos to you. But to me, they've been hitting on the draft. But as I said earlier, just like Eddie said, to me, the word I told you is you draft out of position. You draft a right tackle to play left tackle who had 3 snaps in college on the left side, throwing him over to your blind side to protect the quarterback. Then you draft a player who's played all 5 positions, but primarily 99% of the time played right guard, and you move him over to center, Dave. It's a night and day situation where you're playing a right tackle. Your back foot is your first foot on the other side. You're right-handed, Dave. It's like I told you, Dave, last year during the draft, and I said, Dave, if you're right-handed, for 40 years of your life or whatever, and Dave, I tell you, next week, everything you do has to be with your right hand within a week. It's hard to do.
It's not easy.
Drafting out of position was number one to me. It's going to take time to gel, understand what you're capable of doing, plug and play your players. Number 2 was lack of money in the free agency, Dave. Lack of money in free agency. You go into free agency with $4.5 million. $4 million, Dave. That's the reason why you got Zeke on a 1-year deal for $1 million. Nobody wanted him. Okay, it was smart to pick up a veteran running back. If he gives you something, he gives you something. But, Dave, you couldn't afford Austin Eckler. You couldn't go out this. You couldn't go out and get another offensive lineman. You couldn't get depth on the defensive line. Dave, you had to pick up players like, Dave, here's the name, Andrew Booth, a first-round pick 3 years ago that got cut, and we go and pick him up, Dave. Players like that who are on, food stamps, basically, that need a job, Dave. That's who Dallas came up and picked up because there was no money. And, Dave, yes, you're right. Injuries played a huge part.
Injuries were huge.
100%. 100%. Larry says, can we really blame Dak for taking on the money? Think about it. If we don't get any help, that's all you got to convince you to take a deal. No, I agree. I told Dave this too. And, Dave, what's that guy that does that report that you talk about all the time?
Mike Fisher.
Mike Fisher. Dave and I went at it a couple of nights ago, arguing back and forth. And we were actually, it was last night, wasn't it, Dave?
It was last night.
Yeah. We were talking about it, and I sent Dave this picture here. And he's like, Fisher says we're going to have $100 million. And I was like, Dave, there's no way when you're negative $4.5 million on the cap right now, even though it goes up $30 million, that'll take you to a positive $31 million. But what I explained it to you last night, Dave. Fisher thinks that Dak Prescott's going to take a renegotiated contract. He's thinking that Michael Parsons is not going to take 30. He's going to take 20. Lamb's going to take 30 down to 15. He's thinking that all these players will get, refranchised, cut. I don't see it that way. And I told you last night, Dave, release Terrence Steele, that frees up $18 million.
That's right? $18 million. Yeah.
You release Zach Martin, that's another $9 million. There's 5 or 6 players that I would let go that take you up to $50 million, Dave. To me, I go into the office and say, hey, Dak, listen, we cut $50 million here. We're rebuilding, new contract here. Can you just back end your contract to go not $90 million next year down to $50 million, 50. And we'll level it, 50, 40, 40, 40, 40 for the remainder. CD, can we do the same thing? Because listen, we still have to sign Micah too. But Larry, 100% back what you said. I do not knock Dak Prescott because nowadays, like I told Dave last night, I think I said this before we hung up, Dave. When you are a winning quarterback, let's just say the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? They're not top 3 any position players on the Philadelphia Eagles in value-wise, money-wise contracts. Reason why is because they're a 53-man roster that is built to win Super Bowls. When you win Super Bowls, money is not the most important thing in your life, Dave. When you're a team that doesn't win, Dave, what else do you have to play for? I want the contract. I want the contract. A perfect example, Myles Garrett, Dave. He can break the bank anywhere he goes, correct?
Correct.
He doesn't want the money, Dave. He wants to play.
He wants to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't knock Dak Prescott because Dak holds every card. He has a royal straight flush.
Dak has all the cards.
He has a royal straight flush of every goddamn suit in his hand. You know, even though it's impossible, he holds that, and Jerry knows that too. He negotiates its entire contract, and it's all because of what Dak Prescott did. He set the market first.
His agent did a great job. I mean, you know, they took Jerry to the last day to get that thing done. You know, so, I mean,
Larry says, if given the pieces, I would definitely take a deal. It makes sense. I agree, but Larry, you look at that. But Jerry Jones is not a man that negotiates contracts. He negotiates on his own deal. Look what happened with CeeDee Lamb. Look what happened with Dak Prescott. What, a day before the game, that day, we signed Dak Prescott long term. CeeDee Lamb, he's not playing it. Oh, he just got signed. He's in the building. Jerry Jones waits to the last minute because Jerry Jones
deadlines make deals.
Yeah, well, deadlines get you a 7-10 record, Dave. You know what I mean?
That is true.
Like that. I mean, you think about it. Jerry Jones is the biggest PR face in the NFL.
Oh, without a doubt.
You guys are WWE heel versus face, right? Well, Jerry Jones is the biggest. I hate saying he's the biggest face in the WWE in the NFL because he wants everything about him, Dave. That's all he wants.
It's all about Jerry. Everybody knows that.
But it shouldn't be about him. It should be about people like us.
It should be about the team.
You know? It should be about people out there that want that quest for 6 because that banner right there says 5-time Super Bowl champs. I want that 6 because I've had that son of a bitch for 29 years.
That banner's still sitting there.
Yep. Larry says, shit, if you ain't going to spread it, I'll take it. Hell yeah. Look, you know, Dave, let's get to the comments real quick, Dave. I want to make up something real quick. How about turning some of that money to signing bonus for Dak? See, that's what to me, the signing bonus is okay because Eddie, if you look at his signing bonus, he got a huge signing bonus, one of the biggest as well. So I don't agree with that point, but I think you should back in the contract or at least make it, you know what, you want that $60 million deal. We'll give you 45, but you know what? We'll give you 5 for every playoff game you win. You get to the Super Bowl, we'll give you that 10. Make it an incentive. See, that's to me old school version, Dave, where players play for the love of money now. To me, I've always grown up playing for the love of the game.
Love of the game.
You know what I mean? But you can't knock a player, man, for not taking the money, Dave.
Sure.
You know? I mean, there's a reason why the NFL is called not for long because you don't know where your shelf life is. Get that money while you can. Right?
Jerry Glanville for that, right?
Yeah. Chiefs did the smartest deal, long-term money now. Patty, he wants more. He does want more, but you think about it. Three Super Bowls in 5 years. He's never missed a playoff game. He's never missed a AFC championship game coming out of where he was at Texas Tech. He deserves the money, but you think about this.
People, please stop comparing Mahomes to Brady because he's not.
Not yet. No, Brady will always be the GOAT to me because 7 championships.
He's not Brady. Nope.
And to me, you look at, yes, I believe Belichick is one of the greatest coaches in history, if not the best. You look at the players that Brady has used. Excuse me.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Are you surprised he went to North Carolina?
Nobody wanted him in the NFL.
Okay.
The worst thing for Belichick, I'll tell you this, it could mess up his legacy. Yes, he's going to be arguably 1-2 in the NFL in coaching as a GOAT to me in the NFL. But to me, you know, I'm a huge college fan, Dave. And
that's what I'm saying. That's why I went that route with you.
I think he kind of messed up here because if he doesn't pan out very well, Dave, in 2 to 3 years, he's going to be considered a bust because he's replacing a legend who coached at Texas University, Mac Brown, who went to North Carolina, that didn't have great years but didn't have bad years. Right. You go to replace a legend, you're always going to be carried on by your predecessor. You're thought about that way. You know, Dave, if I take over a job for you and you win 2 Super Bowls, I come in and I get to the playoffs and I shit the bed. You know, you couldn't have signed him. But I think it could be good for him because at least he has a job. You know what I mean? At least he has a job. You know.
Were you surprised that no NFL team actually wanted him, or just?
No, I think he's a great scheme guy, Dave, but I think time has passed him by. I mean, you look at the defense that they had, even when he was there, the defense for the Patriots wasn't that great. When you
Right.
have an offense like Tom Brady who can keep you on the field, long staying drives, 7-minute drives, 8-minute drives, to bleed the defense out there, then their defense comes off. That was me. I'm not saying their defense wasn't ever great, and he's not a great philosopher on defense. I think he's a great coach, but I think times have passed you by, Dave. That's why I
Sure.
would say I want young blood as a coach. I
Ah,
want young
hey.
people. And he says Montana is my personal goat with Brady right behind him. Okay.
Oh, I have to agree with that. I love Joe. Joe was great. Joe, Joe's the man.
I still have Brady up there because to me it's all about the rings, man.
But Montana was Montana. Montana was amazing.
He was. Dave, I mean, I still remember him. He died in Oakland. You know what I mean? In San Francisco,
Kansas City.
He was nasty. He died in Kansas City, but that's where you go to die as quarterbacks before.
Yeah, but he didn't really die there. He just didn't have enough weapons that he had in Frisco.
And see, here's a great thank you, Larry, for bringing this up because this was going to be my last topic. Well, my last thing. Brady beat him in both Super Bowls, and he got smoked. It wasn't even close. He made Mahomes look worse than basically he did against the Eagles.
Oh, Brady was amazing.
And I don't know where it was. I'm going to try to find it. There was a interview where Brady, I think they interviewed him, and he said, going up to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, how did you feel? He's like, I've never watched so much film during that 2 weeks.
I heard him say that.
Yeah. I knew exactly what Patrick Mahomes was going to do at the line of scrimmage. Even when he called the audibles, I knew exactly what he was going to do. And I was in the defensive room telling them.
Well, he said he knew it like the back of his hand what was going to happen.
Yes, he knew them better than they knew themselves.
They knew themselves.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I put Brady on the GOAT status because when you have
he locked himself in a room and watched video or watched film.
Oh, Dave, that's what I do during football season, man. When I coach, I'm like, you know what? Leave me alone. When I get done at Saturday afternoon, I go home. I watch college football first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I watch it on my off time. I watch the film and I look at it. That's what you do to get better. That's why Brady will be the GOAT to me.
100%. Without a doubt. But
the hoodie has never done much without Brady. No, that's what I mean. With the offense that he had, he can move the ball downfield. With an offense like that, you don't need. And you look at the best wide receiver he had was Randy Moss. That year they went 16-0 or 17. Was it 16-0 or 16-0?
I think it was.
No, they went.
Was it 18-1?
18-1. That's right. They didn't go undefeated during the regular season.
Lost to the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants. Even the regular season, they lost one game. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So Parcells and Reed are 1 and 2. Reed is up there, man. I definitely Parcells. I don't think is Parcells. Not
Parcells and Reed are 1 and 2. Yeah, well,
I don't know. I don't know. Parcells, I have top 5.
You got to remember too. Belichick was coordinator with Parcells with the Giants when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have Parcells. I have. We should do a whole.
Not Parcells. I'm sorry. Belichick was a coordinator with Parcells when they won the Super Bowl with the Giants.
Yeah, he started out at Cleveland.
Right? But I'm saying he was with Bill with the Giants when they won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Here's my top 5 real quick. I'll give you right now. I'm not even going to put Patrick Mahomes in the top 3 because he's not done yet, and I don't want to say where he's at, where he could be. So mine right now is going to be Brady, Montana, Elway.
Elway?
Yeah.
Okay. I would go Montana, Brady. That's just me.
My dark horse that my favorite player ever on offense is Peyton Manning. Even though he only had 2 Super Bowls, but watching that field general on the field was just something amazing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's mine. Defensive mind coaches are washed 100%. I agree with that one too. 100%. Elway is third. I agree with that one. 100%. Eddie as well. None of these are successful anymore. I agree with that one too. 100%. I don't have Hoodie in my top 4. I do. I mean, to me, you play for rings. That's why a lot of people say Eli's not a top 10 quarterback. The hell he's not. To me, he is arguably a top 10 quarterback. To me,
2-time Super Bowl champion.
Staubach is in my top 4. A lot of people, I couldn't disagree with you, but that was before my time. Even though I'll give you, Dave, you know why I became a Cowboy fan.
Staubach was
It was because of Roger Staubach. In 1977, we lived in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. My dad drove all the way out to California. We were supposed to go to Disneyland, and we went to Oxnard, California. We went there to training camp. My mom was pissed, and the first person I met was Roger Staubach. That's how I became a Cowboy fan in '77.
Actually, I mean, there's a lot of great quarterbacks out there. Think about it.
But Dave, you know what? It's been an hour and 49 minutes, man. I tell you, we talk a lot for a 7-10 team, Dave. I'll tell you that.
We do. It's amazing.
But you know what? I got to give ourselves credit, Dave, because 7-10, we're still here. We still talk about our shit.
We're still here.
We're still here. But Dave, next week, man, where do you think we should go, Dave? I think next week we can talk about. Let's talk about the coaches next week.
I was going to say, how about blowing it up and getting a whole new coaching staff?
Yeah, you know what? Let's combine it, Dave. We'll run the hour show. Let's talk about the blow up of the. Let's talk about the blow up. Yeah, let's talk about the blow up of the coaching staff. The Mike McCarthy. We're not going to fire you yet, but you can't go ahead and talk to the Bears because we want to keep you. We think the next day you're fired. Let's talk about stuff like that, Dave.
I'm not going to say he was fired. I'm going to say
the writing was on the wall.
Well, not necessarily, because McCarthy wanted a 5-year deal and Jerry wanted to give him a 3. That's all it was.
5 more years of mediocrity.
That's what you know what though? That's what they were talking about, and that's what it was. That was the deal.
All right. Eddie says
McCarthy said, "You're not going to give me a 5. I'm out." So, yeah.
Well, kudos to you, right? Kudos to you, right? See ya. Don't let the door hit you in the head.
I thought McCarthy was going to go to the Saints, honestly.
I thought he would be the perfect place would be the Bears if Johnson.
I thought the Bears was a good spot too. Yeah.
Eddie, good night, Eddie. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Appreciate you.
Eddie, thanks, man.
Definitely. So, Dave, next week let's talk about the blow up of the team, our new coaching staffs. We only kept, I think, 1 coach from the entire team this year, Dave. I wrote it down. I got it written down here somewhere for the notes for next week. We kept 1 position coach. That's it. 12 coaches, 11 new coaches, Dave. We'll talk about that, what it means. We'll talk about what Schottenheimer you think is going to do, this defense is going to do with Greg.
It's going to take time. It's going to take time.
Larry says, good night, guys. Appreciate your time.
Larry, how you feeling there, babe?
Make sure you check out Larry this week with us on the Atomic Drop Saturday at 9 p.m. Also, every Tuesday night at 10:30 on the Part-Time Marks, talking about the NXT wrestling.
Didn't you forget something tonight?
You know what, Dave? I think I did, because I think I need to call this guy. I'll tell you what.
I think you do, and I think we need to too.
Yeah, you know what, guys? Listen, if you're out there, you need a good lawyer out there, especially being in the Philadelphia area, the tri-state area there, give my man a call. Jason Fine, 1-800-HURT-123. Attorney Big Al. Jason Fine, motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, workman's comp, personal injury claims. And I'm glad to say he just added one more thing. If you're a Cowboy fan and you've been lied to by the scenario called All In, you have a case. Call Jason and we can get you paid, because he ran you the wrong way. He's lied to you for the last 29 years with this all-in bullshit. So make sure you call him. 3 convenient locations: Philadelphia, Cherry Hill, and my neck of the woods, Pittsburgh, PA. Make sure you call 1-800-HURT-123 and tell the boys from the Out of the Box Sports Entertainment Network sent you. And I guarantee you, not 50, not 45, not 40, not 35. Dave, guess what? 33.33%. No recovery, no fee. And you know what? Jason's all about that money. He's like a Howie Roseman, because he makes deals, he gets you paid, and he's a master of the books, because that son of a bitch will get you paid, Dave. I'll tell you that.
Attorney Big Al.
Yes. 100%. You already know. So just don't tell Jason I told you. If you're a Cowboys fan, you call and you try to get a discount. Dave will laugh. He will laugh at you, because he's an Eagles fan. Is he? He has season tickets to the Eagles.
I believe it. Yeah. I believe it.
When I go down to the Cowboys game, he usually gives me his tickets, or I'll go with him.
Yeah, but he has a place on the Pittsburgh side. Do you think he's a Steeler fan too?
Oh, hell no. He's all about the money, Dave. He's all about the money.
Okay, well,
He was telling me he's trying to get credentials in Washington because he wants to run the tri-state area all the way down to Washington. So he's all about that money.
He's all about that money.
Yeah, he'll wear a Steelers jersey if you're a Steelers fan or like that, just to make the deal. But after that, he'll be like spit all over it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, Dave. Hey, you know what, Dave? It's been great doing this show, guys. Make sure you check out our weekly schedule here. Sully Spot on Mondays, Silver and Black, Commanders Gridiron, Part-Time Marks. Of course, got the Batcave today. the 215 boys every night at 9:30 coming up later. We're going to be on 9 o'clock until the season rolls around better. The Kings is actually going to be on 10 o'clock on Friday this week. And tomorrow night, the Around the NFL with myself and Dan, we're going to take you all throughout the divisions, breaking down every division of football for the entire season, taking you up to the draft. And we're going to round you out on Saturday night, the Atomic Talk, talking WWE, mostly SmackDown and whatever happens, leading you up to what, Dave, the Elimination Chamber, huh?
Elimination Chamber, and we're on the road to WrestleMania. So.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are, Dave. We are on the road to WrestleMania. Guys, last but not least, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms: YouTube, X, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Hell, we might even be on OnlyFans coming up pretty soon. Who knows? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we do this for the love of the sport and just, having fun of doing it. If you also want to be a host out there, reach out to one of the hosts. If you're a friend of Dave, reach out to Dave. If you're a friend of Larry, Eddie, Ken, Joe, Diego, Sean. Who else do we have? Ken. Who else? Evan, Dan, Stacy. We have everybody.
Dan, Stacy. Yeah.
Make sure you reach out to them. You're a friend of them. You want to do this? Listen, we have fun doing it. We'll hook you up. I'll hook you up with the overlays. We'll get all this done. Have fun talking about it, because we're looking to expand our network, and we all do this for fun anyway. So what better way to make an ass of yourself and come out here and talk about a 7-10 season and laugh about it, Dave?
That's all we can do.
That's right. That's all we can do. So,
hey, I want to thank our viewers for watching us tonight. I really appreciate it. And like I said, follow us we're all over the place: YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, X, whatever. We're there.
Definitely. So tomorrow night, our next show is going to be at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Will be Inside Around the NFL with myself and Dan. Make sure you tune into that. We're going to be talking all NFL. We're going to break down one division. Dan has not told me what division we're talking about. He's going to he said he's going to pick my brain like Dave does.
Surprise you.
Yeah, he's going to surprise me and pick my brain tomorrow night, so I don't know what division he picked. So it's going to be off the top of my dome. If I'm making an ass of myself, I'm making an ass of myself. But you know what? Hell, I made an ass of myself for the last 29 years being a Cowboys fan. So why not start now, right? Yep. So Dave, man, hey, I'm going to bring it back, Dave. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
You know where I'm going, don't you, Dave?
Do I?
I think you do, Dave. I'm bringing it back, Dave. Give me your final thoughts, Dave, for the 7-10 season.
Oh my gosh! Final thoughts. Glad it's over. Glad it's over. That's all I can say. I'll put it this way: everybody now is 0-0 again. Thank God for that, and we have an all next year to figure it out. Hey, if we go 3-15 next year, whatever we are, 14. Whatever, so be it. But I'm glad it's over. A whole new team or a whole new staff. Something we didn't see coming. We blew it up, and hopefully things get better, and we can forget the past and move on to the future.
Dave, I couldn't agree with you more. I like how you opened it up. Yeah, I'm glad it's over. I am 100% glad the season's over. You're right, but wow, yeah, I'm just glad it's over, Dave. Honestly, well, you said 3-15 next year, Dave. If we go 3-15, coming from you, God, I'm never going to hear you shut up about that one, Dave.
Well, I'm just saying, if that, I kept saying, you have to give Brian time to, do what he wants to do and how he wants to do it, because it's his team now. It's his team.
It's not his team. It's
Jerry's team, but he is the head coach of the team. So
Dave, real quick, I just want to remember how we talked about this. I always joke around, I was the OC for a JV team. And I always tell you, like, man, I love to coach the Cowboys. And you said, what would you do? And I said, I wouldn't take the job because I wouldn't be a puppet for Jerry Jones. I mean, the money would be great. It would be America's team, Dallas Cowboys, the star on your helmet, the star on your back of the head coach. But, I couldn't coach a team, Dave, where I know that if I run this, the man upstairs is going to say, come see me in the office after you're done. You know what I mean?
Well,
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it, Dave. Couldn't do it.
You just go up to Jerry and say, you hired me to do a job, and I'm doing what I can.
Well, Dave, that hasn't worked out for anyone except Jimmy Johnson. And what happened after that?
Well, and Barry Switzer.
Well, Barry Switzer was a puppet guy who couldn't go wrong with the team that he had, Dave. You definitely going to win a Super with that team.
Oh, we were on the decline when Barry came, though. We were good, but we weren't.
Yeah, but it still was the same team, Dave.
It was.
Same team. I mean, he still had the stars, Dave.
Before we leave our show here, I have a question real quick.
Oh God, here he goes. Pick my fucking brain again.
How in the world does Darren Woodson not get in the Hall of Fame? I can't figure it out. Why?
I don't know. We'll talk about. We'll put that in one of our shows. We'll put that in one of our shows.
Yeah, I would love to know that. It's really blowing my mind how he's not there.
You know what we'll do, Dave? We'll always put. How about we do this every week? We put something on Twitter, and this week, what I'll do is I'll put on there for all of our viewers. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, OOTB Box Sports on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to run that scenario this week. Where does Darren Woodson fit into the Hall of Fame? Is he a first round? Should he be in? When will he get in? And we'll talk about the
Eric
results.
Allen got in. How does Darren Woodson not get in? I can't.
Eric Allen's been waiting since 1935.
That's what it just blows my mind how that happens. I get it.
You know, it's all about the writers, Dave. It's kind of crazy because there's a lot of snubs out there. I mean,
nothing against Eric Allen. Eric Allen was a great corner, and I have nothing against him. I was a fan. I just don't understand how Darren Woodson doesn't get in there.
But that list, Dave, could go on and on for snubs from the NFL Hall of Fame. We know that, you know.
It's true.
We know that. So, Dave, are you ready to get out of here? I mean, I'm proud to be a 7-10 loser of a franchise.
I'm glad we could talk about it. We had a lot of good. It was fun tonight. I had a good time.
It definitely was. So make sure you reach out to us next week, same time, same channel, Wednesday, 9:05 p.m. And we'll talk about next week the Dallas Cowboys blowing it up. New coaching staff, new scheme, but the same freaking owner.
All right.
Until then, Dave, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Dave, take us out of here.
Thanks, everybody. And you know the deal. Go, boys, go.